All right, this is my podcast with a name to be determined. It's going to be a bit experimental this time, doing a play-by-play broadcast of the Orioles Red Sox game here on August 19th. Currently 1-0 count to Jackson Holliday. Walker Buehler, Tomoyuki Sagano, the matchup. Strike low there to Jackson Holliday from Walker Buehler. Orioles, Red Sox, both AL East teams. Orioles having a rough season. They're my team. Jackson Holliday fouls that one off 1-2. Red Sox also kind of my team, but more the Orioles. Buehler, a longtime Dodger, currently on the mound. He is 7-7, 5.43 ERA. Tomoyuki Sagano, who we'll see at the bottom of the first, 10-5, 4.13 ERA. Holliday swings and misses for strike three. That is the first out of the game. Just 4 pitches for Walker Buehler. Next up, I think it was originally going to be Adley Rutschman in the lineup, but he was scratched due to, I think it was right abdominal soreness or something along those lines. So instead we get Luis Vasquez, who filled in for Jordan Westburg last night in the game, as he takes a fastball right down the middle for a strike. 0-1 is the count. Vasquez replaced Jordan Westburg early on in the game, I think the second or third inning, as Vasquez fouls that one off 0-2. Westburg went down with, I think it was right ankle soreness was the word. And Vasquez, who's kind of a utility infielder, filled in. Now I think he was scheduled to start either way, but is now in the 2-hole. Vasquez grounds this one to short and fielded nicely. 2 outs there for the Red Sox. I believe that is Trevor Story at shortstop. I don't remember off the top of my head. Yes, that should be Trevor Story there at second. At least he is listed as the shortstop. Orioles won the game yesterday on Monday, 6-3. Got off to a early lead 4-0. Gunnar Henderson now up to that, takes ball 1 low on what looked to be a slider or curveball. That looked like a cutter inside, called a strike on the inside corner. Henderson had a home run last game on the first run of the game. It was 400-something feet dead center. There was a bit of drama in the game yesterday as Gunnar hits that cutter right up the middle. 2-out base hit for Gunnar Henderson. Single there. But it was Red Sox were up to bat. There was a man on, Trevor Story, I think, was actually the man on first. This was, I want to say, the second inning, and it was lined into a double play, though the hit was a little bit of a dribbler. Story took a wide slide, almost took out Gunnar Henderson, did clip him on the foot a little bit. Gunnar responded by hitting a home run and a triple in that game. Brian Mountcastle off the bat takes ball 1 outside. Buehler, a righty, throwing to Mountcastle, also a righty. There, we'll see, for the Orioles at least, no Samuel Basallo to start. I think probably because he's a lefty. Mountcastle shatters his bat on an inside fastball and grounds out to first. Red Sox get out of the first inning with just a single and hit our first commercial break. I'll keep talking through this first commercial one while I still have things to talk about. Not sure how it'll be going on, as Tomoyuki Sagano will take the mound. So the Red Sox coming in around 500. They are, if I can find it, they are 2-3 in their last 5. 2-3 in the last 5. Lost to the Orioles yesterday. Won a series against the Miami Marlins. While the Orioles are 4-1 in their last 5 games. Actually playing pretty well over these past probably about 10 games or so. Won a series against the Mariners. Won a series against Houston in Houston. Probably should have swept the Houston Astros. Their only loss came 5-4 in the 12th inning in the middle game of that series. Ramon Arias, the former Oriole who was traded at this year's deadline walked off the game. Orioles were, I think, 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position that game, so it was a rough one. But they came back and responded by absolutely smacking the Houston Astros 12-0. Then they won 6-3 yesterday, currently 0-0 after half an inning today. Let's see if I can find the lineups. So it was for the Orioles lineup, Jackson Holliday, Luis Vasquez. Jackson Holliday at second. Let me do positions as well. Luis Vasquez at third, Gunnar Henderson at short, Ryan Mountcastle, DH, Colton Cowser center field, Kobe Mayo first base, Dylan Beavers right field, Dylan Carlson left field, Alex Jackson at catcher, replacing Adley Rutschman, who was originally slated to start. For the Red Sox, we'll have their young hotshot prospect, Roman Anthony, starting right field and leading off. Alex Bregman, third base. Jarren Duran, center field. Trevor Story cleaning up at shortstop. Masataka Yoshida finally back after a long stint on the injury list in left field as Anthony swings through a fastball, 0-1. Roman Gonzalez, second base, number 6. Nathaniel Lowe, who was a recent pickup, I believe he was DFA'd by the Nationals, is DHing tonight. Abraham Toro, first base in the 8th hole. And rounding it out is Connor Wong, the catcher, at the number 9 hole. Sagano throws, looks like another four-seam fastball, 93 miles an hour, which is not exactly lighting up the radar gun, but Sagano is also not exactly a young guy anymore either. That one fouled off by Anthony, so it's 0-2. Bottom of the first, 0-0 score here. Well, I'm not in Fenway Park. I'm at home. As Anthony grounds that one to Holliday with a spike throw that will not get there in time. So Anthony with a infield single. Holliday was kind of shaded a bit to the right, slid over on his knees. Not the best throw. Would have been a very tough play no matter what. It was kind of a soft dribbler. So leadoff man on for Roman Anthony. Sagano, going a little faster. Sagano is 10-5 for his record. One of the signings this offseason for the Orioles to fill in their pitching staff as Bregman takes the ball inside on a sinker. Started out the year, well, his first start of the year in Toronto was not good, but after that he actually went on a bit of a tear. Stumbled a little bit kind of in late June, July, but has picked it up as of late as there's sweeper that is called a ball right on the outside corner. So 2-0 for Bregman. According to the Orioles broadcast, Bregman's hitting .321 in the month of August. So pretty good batting average there. And a favorable count here is that sweeper is low, 3-0 for Alex Bregman. So Red Sox actually a little bit above 500. They're 68-58. Currently, I believe, in a wild card spot there. I think they're tied with the Yankees at the moment. Either that or very close to the Yankees. Bregman takes a pitch on the inside half of the plate for a strike, 3-1. Orioles, meanwhile, 58-67. Definitely not the year they envisioned, but they are playing better baseball in the past couple months. Got off to an absolutely dreadful start, which really derailed a lot of their plans. Sold at the deadline. There's a strike looking for Bregman, 3-2, bottom corner. Good fastball there for Sagano. So Orioles not technically out of things yet. They're definitely playing a bit feisty now. Called up big prospects in Dylan Beavers and Samuel Basallo. Sagano checks the run at first. Anthony is safe there. We get 8 pitches in, 3-2, no outs, runner on first for Sagano. Bregman at the plate, righty on righty. Bregman hits the ball, center field, right at Colton Cowser. He throws it back to first. Anthony didn't get the best read on it, almost got doubled up, but Anthony is safe. Cowser's throw was a little off the mark anyway. There is 1 out, however. So Jarren Duran, who had, I think, a 2-run single in either the 8th or the 9th yesterday, coming off an absolute tear of a season last year. So definitely a threat to score here. And Duran batting left against righty Sagano. Alex Jackson behind the plate as Sagano curls in a sweeper there. 0-1 for Duran. The Red Sox definitely having a pretty solid season. I know their trade deadline, they were buyers at the deadline, wasn't amazing. Duran hits this ball softly to center field. Colton Cowser makes the catch easily. Anthony, much wiser to this one, scampers back to first without any issue. 2 outs. Red Sox had a quiet trade deadline. I know their pitcher yesterday, Dustin May, I believe was a trade deadline acquisition. Didn't pitch amazing. I believe earned the loss on that one. Gave up, I think, 4 runs of the 6 that Baltimore scored. I think there was plans to get, I think his name was Joe Ryan. Not the most well-versed in this, in this in general, but those trade plans fell through as that sweeper definitely nicked the top left corner of the box from Sagano, but it was called a ball to Trevor Story. Story hitting .260 on the year. Trevor Story slams that one into left field right in front of Dylan Carlson. So that is a 2-out single. Men on first and second for the Red Sox. Good swing of the bat there for Trevor Story. And so the get a Japan on Japan matchup here. Sagano versus Yoshida. So Yoshida had a long injury stint this year, just 89 plate appearances this season, which is good to see him back. Always unfortunate for long injuries. Well, I'll talk more about the Orioles' injuries as we get on because they have been dealing with a lot as Sagano's fastball, it's called for the strike, definitely hit the zone on the outside part. Yoshida a lefty, so right side of the zone there. Sagano 14 pitches in. Yoshida 247 average so far, but in a limited span. Is that pitch inside? Way inside. Another fastball, 1-1 here for Yoshida. So Sagano, he throws good number of pitches. Throws fastball, sinker, cutter, curve, and split according to StatCast. I think they consider one of them, might be the, not quite sure which one, but he's been throwing a splitter today and might just not be listed on the website. Or he's been throwing a sweeper today. 1-2 to Yoshida. Might have missed a pitch there. Yoshida hits this one left field, but foul, pretty high up. Yoshida runners in scoring position 182, 4 for 22, 10 RBIs, 6 strikeouts, according to the Masson graphic. Now they're showing Alex Cora, the manager. I think his first year was in 2018 when the Red Sox won the World Series. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what it was. Pitch from Sagano is outside, 2-2. So a bit of a long battle here. Bit of a fairly long inning, I'd say, for Sagano. Already up to 18 pitches. Going to be throwing a 19th here to Yoshida. Looks back, the runner at second, Roman Anthony. Yoshida swings through an outside splitter. Strikeout to end the inning. So 0-0, top of the first. And I think I'll keep going through this commercial break as well. Just try and come up with topics off the top of my head. Actually, let's go with talk about the Orioles and their injury woes. So obviously, no Westberg, no Rutschman at the moment for this game, or not playing due to injuries. Not on the IL for either of them, but yeah, the Orioles have been dealing with injuries after injuries really this whole season. Colton Cowser went down with a broken thumb, I believe, or torn thumb ligament after the second game where he in Toronto, second game of the year in Toronto, where he slid into first base and messed up his thumb. Was out for a good few months there. Westberg's been on and off the IL, especially early in the year. This is, I think, his first kind of stint with injury in about a month, maybe a month and a half or so. Rutschman went down with an injury for about a month in the middle of the year, and kind of late June. Was out for kind of back half of June and early half of July. Holiday's really been the only one who hasn't been injured. Gunnar Henderson was injured to start the year. Had an injury during not training camp, that's football. Spring training, where he didn't come back until, I want to say, about a month into the season, and really took a few weeks to get going. Has definitely been playing really well as of late. Just been a base hitting machine, and his defense is spectacular at shortstop. And then the pitching also just been racked with injury. They had, obviously, coming into the year, Kyle Bradish was coming off of Tommy John surgery last year, so he wasn't going to pitch this year. He wasn't going to pitch a majority this year. He's actually scheduled to start, I think, either like end of this week or next week. I think against the Red Sox, actually. But Grayson Rodriguez, as we're here in the top of the second, Buehler's first pitch to Colton Cowser is outside, 1-0. But Grayson Rodriguez I think they're expecting him to maybe come in this season, or at the start of the season, as Buehler's next pitch is low but called a strike. Probably clipped the bottom of the zone. Good pitch either way. But Rodriguez is dealing with a multitude of injuries that has kept him out this year. As that pitch from Buehler, a slider, is inside 2-1. So no Rodriguez this year. Bradish coming back, not late August, basically. Tyler Wells was also another starting pitcher, that has not pitched at all this year due to injury. Buehler's next pitch was called a ball, so 3-1 for Cowser. Albert Suarez, a reliable starter last year, has been injured and has not played at all this season. Buehler's pitch is called strike 2, inside part of the zone. So full count for Colton Cowser here. Cowser hitting .208. Definitely not his best season on with a bat. He will take inside for ball 4, though, so that'll certainly help the Orioles there. Leadoff man on. Let me grab a drink of water here. But also another injury for the Orioles was Felix Bautista. He dealt with it. I forget exactly which injury, but I think he dealt with an injury early on in the season, then came back, but now is dealing with shoulder inflammation and is shut down for the year. So their all-star closer. Hopefully he gets back to the form he was, because I really like watching Felix Bautista. Kobe Mayo currently up to bat 0-1. Swings, fouls that one off to right field, so 1-1. And I feel like, I'm sure I'm forgetting another injury or two there, but yeah, Orioles racked with injuries just constantly. Their young hitting core just has not had a lot of time to play together, really. Brian Mountcastle is another one. He's back pitching today, but he was on the IL for a good couple months. As the foul ball from Kobe that made it 1-1 was almost caught by a Red Sox cameraman. Mayo swings through a slider there, 1-2. 21 pitches currently for Walker Buehler. Mayo hitting .204. I forget if he started this season on the Orioles. It's been a while since the start of the season, but he's been on the team for a while, as that pitch is low. Another slider for Walker Buehler, 2-2. I had 22 pitches in the top of the second. So you fit as many number 2s in there, though neither player wearing a 2 on their jersey. Walker Buehler wearing number 0. Mayo, who just takes ball 3, wearing 16. But yeah, Kobe Mayo was another one of the young prospects, not quite rated as high as, Jackson Holliday, Dylan Beavers, Samuel Basayo, even Adley Rutschman, Gunnar Henderson, as Mayo swings through strike three as Cowser steals second base. So one out, but Cowser makes it to second as the throw was missed by Trevor Story and rolled into center field. Actually, no, it was not Trevor Story. It was Romy Gonzalez who missed the throw. The throw was a little offline anyway from Connor Wong. So one out, man on second, though, as Dylan Beavers, one of the baby birds, as they like to say, steps up to plate. Beavers swings at the first pitch. High fly ball. Looks like it will be foul over into left field. It was tracking towards the monster, but did not get there. Was a bit too short, bit too far left. Beavers already has an RBI, just his, I think, fourth game at this point, fourth or fifth in the big leagues. Buehler's next pitch taken for a strike, 0-2. Just to go back to Kobe Mayo, he plays first base, was kind of a platoon with Ryan Mountcastle and Ryan O'Hearn. O'Hearn has since been dealt at the trade deadline. Mountcastle was down with injury, so Mayo's gotten a lot more time playing. Buehler's pitch hit. Beavers smacks that one directly to right field. Colton Cowser is able to barely get back in time. Almost got picked off for a double play. Beavers with an absolute rocket, but directly to the right fielder, Roman Anthony. So Cowser lucky there. Kind of a awkward trot almost back. I mean, he was off and running to third base, so he was actually on third base when Roman Anthony caught the ball in shallow right field. So this is actually a good bit of hustle there. I should amend my statement. Beavers with a strong knock, but right to an outfielder. Dylan Carlson now, switch hitting outfielder, takes ball one with a man on at second. Carlson had a rough go of things coming out of the All-Star break. Not that he was a mainstay, but as of late, he's definitely been playing better past few games. 3 for 5 with 2 strikeouts against Walker Buehler specifically. Carlson takes strike one, so it is 1-1. But, yeah, Carlson has definitely gotten, I wouldn't say hot, because he doesn't play all the time. So he takes strike two pretty much right down the middle. But he was, I think, an 0 for 31 or something like that. It was a terrible stretch of hitting. But then over the past few games, he's had multiple multi-hit games. Carlson takes ball 2 inside, almost hits him. 31 pitches here for Buehler, top of the second. 0-0 still. Colton Cowser lingering at second base after a steal. Strikeout, flyout so far for Buehler in the second. Carlson takes high for ball 3, 3-2. So right on left for the pitching matchup. Buehler, according to StatCast, throws four-seamer, sinker, cutter, slider, change, and curve. Seeing a good bit of the slider and four-seamer so far. As 2 set to go, Buehler delivers. That one's inside for ball 4, so walk to Cowser, walk to Carlson. Outs in between those two. Goes first and second, 2 outs for the Orioles. And now the number 9 hitter, Alex Jackson, backup catcher. At this point, with Basayo up, probably more of the third-string catcher is up to bat. Jackson, kind of a power hitter at this point, as we get a mound visit from the Red Sox. Jackson, I don't know if the streak's still on, but it was I think it was a club record for the Orioles for his first 8 hits as an Oriole, since this is his first year as an Oriole, were all extra base hits. There's no singles. He's walked a few times, gotten hit a few times, and he might have had a single in the past few games. I'm not quite sure. But Jackson was pretty much all he would do was get extra base hits when he made contact and, didn't get out. Jackson, 227 average, 3 home runs, 4 RBIs. So he's not exactly an all-world hitter. He's not Cal Raleigh in any stretch of the matter, but there's still definitely a threat of power here. And he's a righty, so there's a threat of long fly ball enough it can knock off the green monster. Jackson takes a perfectly located pitch for strike one in the bottom corner. Can't really do any better than that. Jackson takes ball 2 on a slider low and away. So the Orioles definitely working the counts so far early on, which is something they have not done a ton of this year. Buehler already up to 35 pitches. That one's inside for ball 2, 2-1. Looked like it was a sinker that kind of wasn't going to be ball no matter what, but definitely curled even more towards Jackson, who got out of the way. Buehler sets and delivers. That ball, it is a pitch is low for ball 3. Fastball there. 3-1 for Alex Jackson. So another 3-ball count for the Orioles already. 37 pitches in. Another one more ball and the bases would be loaded for Jackson Holliday. Buehler sets, delivers. Jackson grounds this one to short. Trevor Story throws long and will get Alex Jackson out at first. So Orioles will strand 2 there. There was a signal for the umpire. Wasn't quite sure what it was, but in the end, it is no runs for the Orioles. But really, I think their silver lining is that Buehler has thrown a lot of pitches so far. And that is the end of the top of the second. I'll stick through commercial break a little bit longer. I'm going to pull up the standings a little bit for baseball as a whole, just to kind of talk about the season so far. So currently leading the baseball as a whole and with their record is Milwaukee Brewers. They did lose today in Chicago against the Cubs, I should specify, since there are 2 Chicago teams. Toronto Blue Jays lead the American League at 73-53. Brewers are 79-46. Orioles bottom of the division, 58-67. Only a few games behind the Tampa Bay Rays, so they definitely clawed back a lot of the deficit that they had early in the year. Rays 61-64. Red Sox, Yankees, both 5 games back from the Blue Jays. Red Sox 68-58, Yankees 67-57. Yankees, I believe, who are they playing? They're playing someone tonight. that I can confirm. They just won a series. I think they swept the series against St. Louis. They're playing Tampa Bay, actually, which is currently in a rain delay. But the Yankees, who have been struggling mightily ever since June, really, have played better baseball over the past few games. But we'll see how it goes against Tampa Bay, if and when that game eventually comes out of the rain delay. Yankees swept the Cardinals. They won 2 of 3 against the Twins. And that was after coming off some rough series against the Marlins, Rangers, and Astros. Though, as an Orioles and kind of Red Sox fan, it's certainly a fun watch to see the Yankees lose a lot. But that is a different game. This game, now bottom of the second, Sagano back on the mound. As he pitches to Romy Gonzalez. That sweeper looked like it was off the zone, but called a strike. Was pretty close. Gonzalez hitting 298 home runs this season. Sagano delivers. That one's grounded through the right side for a base hit. So big hole there in the right side of the infield. Got past Kobe Mayo and Jackson Holliday. Since I believe Kobe Mayo's at first. Yes, he is. Beavers was there to prevent any extra bases. Sagano's first pitch to Nathaniel Lowe is a strike, 0-1. So Sugano, 22 pitches currently. Had some traffic in the first inning, but got out of it with a couple of strikeouts. Pitch is too low here. That one is down. There's an attempted steal from Gonzalez, and he is out. Good throw from Alex Jackson on a pitch that was in the dirt. Very impressive there. Looked initially that Gonzalez was safe, but he's called out at second. See if the Red Sox attempt a challenge here. That was a ball in the dirt, basically bounced off of home plate into Alex Jackson's glove. Throws a missile to Gunnar Henderson, and it's pretty close on the tag. I think Gunnar Henderson have it. Red Sox do not challenge, so the base runner at first is erased on an attempted steal. Count is 2-1, by the way. That pitch was a ball. And to Nathaniel Lowe, Sugano throws another ball, so it's now 2-1. Sugano's next pitch is inside 3-1 with a fastball. But I'm sure he's happy to not have Romy Gonzalez roaming, that was a terrible pun, on first. Sugano's pitch too low. This one was under the zone. Lowe fires it out to left field. Carlson with a running grab right in front of the monster gets Lowe out. So there are 2 away here in the second. 26 pitches, still 0-0. Some good work for Carlson. Catches it just a few feet in front of the monster. Probably was harder than I think he made it look, but it was a very low line drive. Also, no pun intended there, given that it was Nathaniel Lowe hitting it. He spells his name Lowe. That first pitch to Toro is a ball in the dirt. Abraham Toro, the first baseman for the Red Sox, hitting .244 on the year. Sugano's next pitch is outside fastball for ball 2. Toro lefty, so that ball was on the right side of the zone. Toro just 7 home runs, 27 RBIs. I'm assuming he's not played a ton. That sweeper curls in for a strike on the inside. Let me see if I can find Abraham Toro's stats. Toro hits this one high right field. And that one is foul. Just given the pesky pull in Fenway Park, it's hard to tell if these fly balls in the right are fair or foul. This one called foul, but it definitely had the distance. But instead of being a 1-0 lead for the Red Sox, it is a 2-2 count. It was pretty close. But no cigar for Abraham Toro. 254 at-bats this season. And Toro swings through a splitter down in the zone. So 1-2-3 sort of inning for Sugano. And that's his 3rd strikeout of the game, and that will take us to the end of the second, and a non-existent commercial break for me as I grab another drink of water. So back with the top of the third here, Orioles Red Sox in Fenway Park. 0-0 is the score. Most recent event was Abraham Toro striking out on a splitter from Tomoyuki Sugano. So we get back to the third inning. Jackson Holliday takes a strike from Walker Buehler. Jackson Holliday already struck out to start the game. So that ball is outside, 1-1. Buehler already up to 40 pitches, though has not given up a run yet. Ran into some traffic in the second inning. Holliday takes strike 2, high in zone. Good fastball there from Buehler. Holliday lefty, Buehler righty. Holliday 21 years old, one of the young superstar prospects for the Orioles. In a bit of a slump hitting-wise over the past month or so. He hammers this one out to left field. That one easily caught for Masataka Yoshida, did not get far enough to be a threat at the monster. One away here for Walker Buehler in the third. Holiday definitely started off pretty well. Hasn't had as much success in the past few months, or really, I'd say past month. But did have a couple of good games here and there recently. Luis Vasquez takes the first pitch out to right field. This one easily caught there for their right fielder, Roman Anthony. Had to refresh myself there. So quick out there for Buehler. I'm sure he's happy about that. There are very quickly 2 away. This now for Gunnar Henderson, who has singled in the game. So Gunnar Henderson up to bat. Definitely been on a tear as of late. Takes strike 1. Gunnar hitting .283 on the year, and that was with missing definitely a couple weeks. He'll take ball 1 there, second pitch of the sequence. But yeah, Gunnar, he's missed a couple weeks to start and then started off slow when he returned. So he'll take ball 2. Now it's actually ball 2 up high. Gunnar's numbers, his home run numbers are also down significantly from where it was last year. He got off to an absolute tear to start the season last year. Gunnar will take ball 3 low and away on a changeup. But overall, Gunnar has definitely looked good at the plate, especially as of late. He's just getting on base a lot, which is always good to see. He was striking out a lot last year. And he'll walk here with a fiery toss of the bat, as he likes to do whenever he gets a walk. Buehler shaking his head there on that pitch that he missed. Buehler, career high in walks with 53 this season, according to Masson. And his previous was 52 and 207 innings pitched. This one, 53 and about half that in terms of innings pitched. Buehler immediately checks on Gunnar Henderson at first. Henderson is safe. Mountcastle now up to bat. He is 0 for 1. Mountcastle, a big-time hitting righty, will swing at the first pitch, or swing at the... Yeah, it was the first pitch. Swing at that one, fouled away, 0-1. I was confusing myself with something else. So 49 pitches here for Buehler, still no runs. Gunnar Henderson at first. Ryan Mountcastle at the plate. He will swing at a ball low, chop that one to second. Trevor Story will throw to first and get Mountcastle out. So no damage there for the Orioles in the top of the third. They do get one more hit, but that is all. And we'll go to the bottom of the third here. Connor Wong will be leading off to bat. So now in breaks between innings, I will talk about some other news. Go flip from baseball to football here. As in today's news, we got word on who's starting for the Indianapolis Colts, that being Daniel Jones, which is, I think, a surprise to many, given that Anthony Richardson was number 4 overall pick a couple of years ago, but obviously his struggles have been noted, and apparently the quarterback battle between the two former first-round picks has been won by the journeyman, Daniel Jones. So I don't think Colts fans are probably happy to hear, given the amount of investment the team put in Anthony Richardson. I don't think it's necessarily the end for Richardson as a whole, but I think Colts fans will probably looking more towards what happened with Bryce Young and his benching during the season last year than to any of the many failed first-round quarterbacks who just couldn't really develop at all. But yeah, it's always rough to see when quarterbacks just don't pan out in the slightest, and unfortunately it's starting to look like Richardson's trending towards the direction of a bust. I don't want to label him as a bust right now because I think it's still way too early. I mean, Richardson only played like 5 games his rookie year. and still dealt with some injuries last year. So I think it's still way too early to, qualify or give a label to Richardson, but in the end, it's not looking good, essentially. Um, Not what you want to see for a Colts fan or Anthony Richardson fan. But back to baseball, we are bottom of the third. Still nothing. Sagano pitches to Wong. His cutter is low and away for a ball. So let's see for the. Actually, I'll go over the scoreboard next half inning as Wong smacks this ball right to Dylan Carlson on a hop in front of him in left field. So I believe that is all three innings are all three innings for the Red Sox. They have gotten the leadoff man on. Roman Anthony, who singled in the first inning, is back up as the order turns back over to the top. Sagano at 33 pitches now, bottom of the third. So more numbers as Anthony grounds the first pitch, bobbled by Holiday, and he cannot make the play. Wong, safe at second, was easy double play there, but Holiday commits the error. So instead of 2 outs, nobody on, it is first and second, nobody out. That was ground ball right to Holiday, skips right into his glove, and then just falls right out of his glove. Holiday tries to shovel the ball to Henderson at second. Does get there, but too late. Wong makes it in safely. Anthony safe at first, so that should be a easy error charged to, or easily identifiable error charged to Holiday. Alex Bregman now up. He takes first pitch for a strike. So Orioles defense definitely had some struggles early on in the year, but has been playing a lot better as of late. But unfortunately, Holiday does not come up with a play there as Sagano throws in another fastball 0-2 to Bregman. I'm also wrong. I thought Sagano had 3 strikeouts when he struck out Toro, but it was actually only 2. At least according to ESPN and my faulty memory. Bregman swings at the next pitch, foul. That one was off the zone and fouls it off into right field. Or right of right field, I should say. If it was into right field, it would have been a fair ball. But instead, it is still 0-2. Sagano at 37 pitches. First and second, nobody out. Bregman, the longtime Houston Astro, hits this ball low right to Dylan Beavers, who catches it on the fly. Zips it back into Gunnar Henderson at shortstop to ensure nobody advances. So good play there from the young up-and-coming outfielder, Dylan Beavers. Bregman doesn't look too happy about that because that ball was slammed, but hung up just barely enough for Beavers to make a good catch on the run. And it was good that he did, because if Beavers running the way he did missed that ball, Bregman probably could have gotten to third, maybe even home, depending on how far that ball traveled. But that's what they pay these guys for. They know how to play baseball. As Jarren Duran takes the ball outside, 1-0. So Dylan Beavers, Samuel Basayo, who we might see later on in this game. 2 of the young prospects just called up this past week as Duran swings and misses that splitter, 1-1. Beavers already has I believe a double so far in his career, and I think his first hit was a double. Basayo has 2 2-run singles. So far, had a home run robbed from him in Houston. Duran takes ball high for 2-1 for the count. Beavers is definitely a guy that I think the Orioles are expecting to play regularly now, especially with no more Ramon Laureano, no more Cedric Mullins, no more Ryan O'Hearn, as Sagana's pitch is low, so it's 3-1 to Duran. And Tyler O'Neill also still on the injury list. He was someone who I completely forgot to mention while recounting the Orioles, and he's the guy who's always on the injury list. Fans seem to call him General Soreness now, with a military hat photoshopped onto him, as Sagano's pitch is in the strike zone, 3-2. Good fastball in the bottom corner. But yeah, the outfield for the Orioles is pretty open at the moment outside of Cowser. Carlson's kind of a rotational guy they bring in up and down from AAA. I think Jeremiah Jackson, who's another, I think, prospect or signing, but not exactly a high leverage guy that they expect to have. He's been in. As Duran chops this one to first, Mayo fields it, tags the bag. So 2 outs, but the runners advance to second and third. But yeah, Dylan Beavers, he's obviously a big prospect for the Orioles. I think he's their number 3 prospect. Well, I mean, now he's in the bigs, but he was one of their top prospects, now slotting in the outfield, and probably, I would assume, is going to find a home out there for a good while. So Trevor Story back up, has a hit in this game. Currently, 2 men, Connor Wong, Roman Anthony on third and second, respectively. So a chance here for the Red Sox to drive in the first run. Sagano sets, delivers. Story swings through a sweeper. 0-1. Sagano up to 45 pitches now through 2 2/3 innings, as he sets to deliver 1-1, but steps off the mound instead. Sagano's taking his time here, gets the call from Alex Jackson behind home plate. Big moment here early on in the game. And looks like it might be a balk here for Sagano. He's very confused. Umpire is definitely calling it, and yeah, it is a balk. So first run goes to the Red Sox on a balk from Tomoyuki Sagano. Connor Wong in. Duran to third. It was a bit of a... I think Sagano was attempting to throw over to third, but might have stepped off. Yeah, because Wong was running towards home, kind of deked out Sagano, and in the end, as Story swings through another sweeper, 0-2, Red Sox get a run, making it 1-0 for Boston here in the bottom of the third. So not quite the start Sagano would have wanted there, not quite the moment he would have wanted. And still has a runner on third now with Roman Anthony, but he is up 0-2 on Story. That sinker is outside and low, so 1-2. Sagano is definitely not happy about the balk call. I think there was also, he had disengaged twice from the mound while Wong was at third, as that ball is low. So might have been a third disengagement for the automatic balk, given the new rule set that came in place I think 2 years ago. Whatever it was. I think, yeah, because I think it came along with the pitch clock. So 2-2 here for Story. Sagano up to 48 pitches, has balked in the first run. Story grounds this one to Henderson. Spinning play, throws it to first. Mayo fields it, and Story is out. So great defensive play there for Gunnar Henderson, which he seems to make all the time. Red Sox do get a run, but only one. Really, really nice spin there for Henderson. It's insane how routine he makes that play look. And I know that's, again, it's his job, but like it's just ridiculous like how good he makes it look. Anyway, through 3 innings, 1-0 Red Sox. Take a quick peek here at the scoreboards for other games so far. Bottom of the third, Houston, Detroit. That is 0-0. Next one, top of the fifth, St. Louis, Miami. St. Louis is up 4-2. Middle of the fourth, Toronto is up 5-1 against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Top six, New York Mets up 6-0 against the Washington Nationals. Next one, bottom fourth, Seattle's down, 1-3 against the Philadelphia Phillies. Next one, top third, Chicago White Sox up 3-2 against the Atlanta Braves. Looks like the Yankees and Rays are still in a rain delay. Not sure if they're in New York or Tampa Bay. Let me check real quick. They are in, well, they're at the George Steinbrenner Field, which is a Yankees spring training field that the Rays are using since Tropicana Field got damaged in the hurricane last year. So it's raining down there in Florida at the moment and preventing that game from getting underway. Top second, Athletics at Minnesota, 0-0. Middle of second, Texas at Kansas City, tied 1-1. And then earlier in the day, in the first of a doubleheader, Milwaukee lost in Chicago 6-4. They will be playing here their second game in a moment. The first and second teams in the NL Central. Let me grab another quick drink here as the fourth inning gets underway. So ball one to Colton Cowser, takes strike two there. He's looked at 2 pitches, a curveball outside and a fastball right down the middle. Cowser walked his first at bat, got I think to second, but no further. He will ground this one directly to Abraham Toro for the first out of the inning. Sharp line drive there to Toro, but fielded cleanly. Kobe Mayo up to bat next here in the top fourth. Mayo got out his first time. I'm blanking on what he did. It wasn't out. I'll say that as he cranks the first pitch into left field, bounces off on one hop against the monster. Kobe Mayo will stop at first because it was such a hard hit ball. Yoshida fielded it well off the monster, but either way, it is a hit. Mayo with a very, very strong hit there off the first pitch as well. Looked like I think it might have been a two-seam fastball. Kind of ran inside right into the path of the bat. Low line drive there. And, oh yeah, that's what it was. Mayo struck out and Cowser stole second. That's what it was. So this time Mayo did not strike out. Instead, he gets a single, a hard hit single, as Dylan Beavers takes ball 1 and takes ball 2. So Beavers with actually a pretty solid start to his big league career. Had some good knocks so far. Takes strike 1 there on a curveball. Still looking for his first home run of his career, but again, only about 5 games played, so it's still got plenty of time. Beavers will look at pitch number 4. Take that one on the outside part of the zone, 2-2. Good fastball there from Buehler at 58 pitches. Buehler's throwing in some curveballs now. Didn't really throw a lot of curveballs early on in the game, but starting to mix in some more breaking balls now. Threw a lot of sliders. Throws a fastball there. Strikes out Beavers looking pretty much on the exact same pitch as before. So fastball freezes Beavers. 2 outs here in top of the 4th. And yeah, it's Very good pitch. Might have been a cut fastball, actually. I think that was 89 miles per hour there. Just didn't have a lot of movement as Carlson up to bat takes ball one inside. And yeah, it probably was a cutter that Buehler threw to strike out Beavers there. Carlson walked last time he was up. Takes strike one, top of the zone on a four-seam fastball. So kind of similar situation where leadoff man gets on. Actually, no, leadoff man didn't get on. I'm off on that. Carlson hits this one out towards the monster. Off the monster, bounces up top into Yoshida's glove. Mayo will get to third, and the ball gets away, but fielded by Wong as Carlson makes it to second. So Carlson on base twice. Hits a good double, opposite field double for him. Off the green monster, took an unusual hop. Instead of ricocheting back away from it as normally would, it kind of bounced off some padding or a structural bar and bounced straight up into the air, basically. It was easy for Yoshida to field after that, basically, since it dropped right down into his hand and prevented Mayo from getting around to home plate, although he was on first base, so it kind of would have been tough either way. But now it is second and third, 2 outs. Alex Jackson up to the plate. So another mound visit here for the Red Sox. They've already used 2 so far in this game. Red Sox hitting core had this situation in the bottom of the third, second and third, 2 outs, and had a balk run. We'll see how that goes. I doubt we'll see another balk run to tie it up for the Orioles, but you never know. Alex Jackson up to the plate. He will take strike one on the outside part of the zone. Jackson grounded out to shortstop last time he was up. And that was with 2 outs, although that was first and second 2 outs. Red Sox have the bullpen up, apparently, from what I heard on the main broadcast, as Jackson takes ball one. And I mean, Buehler is already at 64 pitches. Jackson will take strike 2. Bit of an iffy call. May have caught the inside part of the zone there. Either way, pretty good pitch. Alex Cora was on the phone, so it looks like it is the Red Sox who have the bullpen up. See how that goes. But it is only top of the fourth. Jackson will take ball 2. High fastball there. Good take there for Jackson. And I mean, yeah, it is already. I mean, if Alex Jackson gets out on the next pitch, Buehler's already thrown 67 pitches through 4 innings, as it will be only 67 pitches. Alex Jackson takes strike 3, bottom middle of the zone on a fastball. So Orioles strand 2 more. 6 left on base already. And Red Sox carry their lead into the bottom of the fourth. I will take another break and be back for the bottom of the 4th inning. Back here, bottom of the 4th inning. Red Sox lead 1-0. Orioles stranded a pair, top of the 4th. Buehler got a strikeout on Alex Jackson at the end of the inning. Tomoyuki Sagano's first pitch to Masataka Yoshida, second time through the order, is a ball, curveball below the zone. Yoshida struck out with men on base, first time through the order. This time there's nobody on base, as Sagano's next pitch is way off target. He throws that ball away emphatically. Clearly not happy with that one. 2-0 to Yoshida. So 1 unearned run for Sagano so far in this game. Balked Connor Wong in. There's a strike outside part of the zone to Yoshida, 2-1. But it was a double play ball that was not fielded by Jackson Holliday. Eventually, runners got over to second and third, and Yoshida, Yoshida was not part of that sequence, but he is part of this one, fouls off that pitch 2-2, but it was for the running score, or the run scored in. It was Sagano disengaging 3 times and not able to get Connor Wong out, so he was able to get home on the balk, the automatic balk, as Yoshida fouls this sweeper off into the seats in right field. So 2-2, Sagano at 54 pitches through 3 innings. Currently bottom 4. Sagano's next pitch, fouled away, fouled behind by Yoshida. That one was a fastball in the zone. So a bit of a battle here between these two native Japanese baseball players. Sagano sets and delivers. That one is swung on and missed. A sweeper there for Yoshida. So Yoshida has struck out twice in this game. Good looping sweeper there for Sagano. Gets Yoshida out. There is one away. First time in the game that the Red Sox have not gotten the leadoff man on. Romy Gonzalez up next. He was singled, then got caught stealing in the last time he was up. So 1-0 to Gonzalez. Gonzalez chops a ball over to third base. Fielded by Vasquez, but his throw will not be in time. So another single there for Romy Gonzalez. We'll see if he tries to steal again. Good play there by Vasquez either way to, make it competitive, but it was a very, very slow developing ball for him to actually try and make a play, and really no chance, no matter what, even if it was the fastest throw in the world, to get Romy Gonzalez out. So Nathaniel Lowe up. He will take ball 1 just below the zone. Romy Gonzalez did not steal on that first attempt there. I'm assuming he will probably think twice about stealing at this one, or at his current moment. That fastball just outside the zone, 2-0 to Nathaniel Lowe. Former Nationals first baseman. Nationals having a really rough season. Started out actually kind of decent, but wheels have fallen off for them very quickly. Their young cores, they have some good guys there, but overall has not been performing well in the slightest. Lowe fouls the third pitch off, 2-1. I actually had Nathaniel Lowe on my fantasy team to start out the year. I had him and Matt Olson as my first baseman. Matt Olson was my earlier choice. Lowe was kind of my backup guy, but I wound up playing Lowe more often than Olson to start because Olson had a kind of a rough start fantasy-wise to the season, but has since really made it a lot easier. Lowe is not on my team anymore in the fantasies. It takes inside 3-1. Which should be evidence to say where those two players have gone at least a little bit season-wise. But fantasy baseball can only take you so far as a check swing chopper back to Sagano for Lowe. He throws Lowe out at first, and Gonzalez will make it to second, this time safely. So kind of an awkward check swing, but the ball was located right at the bat, chopped right in front of the mound. Sagano fielded it and got the out. Now getting a graphic. Baltimore Orioles have used 62 players this season, ties a franchise record. Also tied this season with the Arizona Diamondbacks for 62 players used. Kind of shows the season for the Orioles as Abraham Toro takes strike 1 there on a kind of looping sweeper curveball on the outside. Second pitch to Toro is outside a splitter for ball 1. Romy Gonzalez lingering at second base, runner in scoring position for the Red Sox. Currently up 1-0 here in the bottom of the 4th. Toro, the eighth batter in the lineup, will foul this four-seam fastball off 1 and 2. So getting close to the run-scoring Connor Wong here if Toro is able to reach base. Currently 2 outs. Sagano up to 66 pitches through 3 2/3 innings here. Kind of similar, actually very similar pitch numbers to Walker Buehler. In fact, if he gets a strikeout here, or really any out on this next pitch, it will be exactly the same amount of pitches through 4 innings. And Toro will foul this one off, so it will have to be at least 68 pitches through 4 innings for Sagano. Still 1 and 2. That sweeper, curveball, looper, I guess you could say, was located well, but Toro was able to get a piece of it. Broadcast shows Tony Mansolino, the interim Orioles manager, former third base coach, filled in for Brandon Hyde after Hyde was fired, as Sagano's next pitch is low for ball 2. Hyde fired middle of May, I think is what it was, after a dreadful, dreadful start for the Orioles. And obviously injuries were a part of it, but also Hyde was not really doing a great job for his position, and some changes need to be made. They're needed to be made, and Orioles have been playing, I think, kind of around 500 since Mansolino took over, as Toro will ground this one basically back to a running Sagano on the right side of the infield. He tosses it over to Kobe Mayo, who easily gets the 3rd out. No runs there for the Red Sox in the 4th inning. We get through almost first half of the game. It's kind of almost first half of the game. 1-0 Red Sox. We get to commercial break here on the broadcast. I'll keep going a little bit here. Talk more a little bit about Orioles as I was talking about Brandon Hyde and Tony Mansolino. Mansolino is the third base coach, has filled in for Brandon Hyde here in the manager's role. I'm not sure if they're going to bring him back next year. I'm very curious to see what the Orioles will do staff-wise, because I know, if you talk to anyone online, Mike Elias is on the scorching hot seat. What Dave Rubenstein, Cal Ripken, and the rest of the ownership group actually feel is a different story, I would think. But I imagine there's going to be a bit of a roster turnover in the front office department once this season ends, just given the lack of success this team has been able to produce so far postseason-wise. They made the postseason past 2 years. Most likely will not this year, but there's always a chance. But didn't win a single game in either 2023 or 2024. Lost in 3 games to the eventual World Series winning Texas Rangers at home in the first Camden Yards home playoff series in a while, and then lost to I forget if there actually might have been one home. It was in the wild card game, so it might have been one home, one away against the Kansas City Royals last year, and just an awful offensive performance from the Orioles that day. And so the Orioles definitely will probably need to look somewhere. I would hope they would look somewhere new, like administrative wise and just coaching wise, to try and shake things up. So we get here top of the 5th. Holiday knocks this pitch foul, so it is 1-1 at the moment. He took first pitch for a ball. Holiday is 0 for 2, strikeout, flyout in the game. Buehler at 69 pitches here at the top of the 5th, so I think that's through 4 innings. That pitch is off the plate. It's a changeup for a ball, 2-1. So third time through the order here for the Orioles. Have gotten men on base, but have not been able to drive them home. Holiday hits this one high into left field. Will it have enough? It will knock off the wall back to Yoshida. Holiday in standing at second. Double for Jackson Holiday, his first hit of the game. The swing was it wasn't super aggressive, and the ball didn't look like it was flying out super far, but with the Green Monster, it's not a super deep right field. You know, if you compare that hit to where it would be at Oriole Park, it might be a flyout. But in this case, it is a green monster double. And it was pretty high up on the monster as well. It's not like it was barely got there. It was a good hit. Just visually from the TV, it didn't look like it was going that far. But in the end, Jackson Holliday standing on second as Luis Vasquez has already taken ball 1. He will now take ball 2. And there is nobody out here top of the 5th. So once again, Orioles have a runner in scoring position. See if they can get a RISP knock. The Red Sox bullpen is starting to get active. Vasquez takes another pitch for a ball to make it 3-0. Got there eventually. Vasquez will take a 4-pitch walk from Walker Buehler. Basically, all of his pitches were fastballs inside. Vasquez offered at none of them, and here comes Alex Cora. Looks like we will get a bullpen substitution. Walker Buehler just 75 pitches in, has not given up a run, but runners on first and second, nobody out. Cora doesn't look like he's super happy. Don't think Buehler's looking super happy either, despite the no runs given up. And not quite sure, since there's no name tags on the back of the Red Sox bullpen, I'm not quite sure who it is. Let me reference ESPN here. It is Justin Wilson coming in, a 2.61 ERA, 42 strikeouts, and 1.32 WHIP. For the stat nerds, you can make of that what you will. Let me go over to StatCast here. Justin Wilson, according to StatCast, throws 4-seam fastball about half the time, a cutter, slider, and a split finger fastball, although that is rare. And again, we'll see. So I don't know his stuff off the top of my head. I don't know if the pitches listed on StatCast are entirely accurate or if they are not. At least name-wise. But interesting move here from Alex Cora, the manager. Since Buehler's, he's definitely had traffic, but he's been pitching pretty well. Obviously, he's given up no runs, but I guess now he does have first and second, nobody out, and giving up 4-pitch walk to Luis Vasquez with, of course, Gunnar Henderson on deck now. Well, now up batting at the plate. So we shall see how it goes. See, just looking at scoreboard, Yankees still have not started. Atlanta has taken lead 4-3 over the White Sox. Phillies still up 4. Well, they were at 4-1 last time I checked. So Justin Wilson here will take the mound. 38 total innings for the 2.61 ERA in 46 games. Jackson Holliday on second, Luis Vasquez on first, Gunnar Henderson at the plate. Wilson a lefty, so a lefty-on-lefty matchup, which makes sense given the current era of baseball. Wilson delivers high for ball 1 with that 4-seam fastball. Gunnar has reached base both times so far today, a single and a walk. We'll see if Gunnar can get that extra base knock here. He swings through that fastball, a very well-located fastball on the top right of the zone, so it's 1-1. Obviously, 3 games ago, Orioles had a terrible string of runners in scoring position hits. Well, they didn't get any hits at all, but better after that. Gunnar will take strike 2 low in the zone. Pretty much at the knees, but well in the zone there. Another fastball, so 3 straight fastballs from Wilson, which makes sense given the, or at least StatCast was right about the percentage usage. Pitch this time, it is low. That is a slider for ball 2 from Wilson. And yeah, slider, according to StatCast, he throws about 33% of the time. So pretty much 4-seam slider. Throw a bit of a cutter in there, according to StatCast. So far, it has all been four seams and sliders to Gunnar Henderson, which with the count at 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Gunnar Henderson will knock it right into the glove of Trevor Story at shortstop. Great play there to save a hit and potentially a run there. Henderson not happy on a very strong hit that would have had Story not been able to make the play, dribbled right into left center field. But Story in the right place at the right time with a good catch. Both runners got back to their bases without any issue. Henderson kind of just gives a sigh of annoyance. Had a good play from his shortstop counterpart. Meanwhile, Ryan Mountcastle up to bat. Righty on lefty now. Mountcastle is grounded out twice. Maybe he'll have some better luck against the lefty pitcher here, Jacob Wilson. Justin Wilson, I should say, not Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson is, I think, a player for the Oakland Athletics, I believe. Let me double check that. Yes, he is a player for the Sacramento Athletics currently. Yeah, Justin Wilson, meanwhile, is a pitcher for the Red Sox who throws a pitch that is fouled off by Ryan Mountcastle. It is now 0-2. So Wilson already up on Mountcastle in a favorable spot here. Has already gotten the first out of the inning after Walker Buehler exited after 75 pitches, leaving first and second on with nobody out. Mountcastle will foul this fastball off into right field, so still 0-2. Mountcastle's definitely had some success against the Red Sox, not nearly as well as he does against Toronto, but the power is definitely there. He will take a slider for ball one. Definitely, he's better average against left-handed pitchers, but less power. Although I think that's also just seeing less, but Mountcastle will hit this one into left field right in front of Yoshida. That will tie the game as Holiday rounds third, gets home. Mountcastle with an RBI single. Luis Vasquez will make it to second. So bring those RBI numbers up against lefties for Ryan Mountcastle. It is now 1-1. Jackson Holiday makes it home with no issue whatsoever. First and second, one out. 1-1 game. Mountcastle off the inside part of the bat. Just kind of I don't know if I'd necessarily call that a soft single, but it wasn't really a hard single either. Just kind of a looping ball hit right in front of Masataka Yoshida. Had no chance of catching that. Colton Cowser now up to bat with suddenly a tie game again. Cowser sees the first pitch, a cutter, for ball one, just off the plate on the right side. Cowser has walked, stolen a base, and also gotten out. Cowser grounded out his last time, but he will see ball two here, a slider in the dirt. As it looks like Walker Buehler is looking on, which makes sense, given that he still inherits Luis Vasquez at second. Cowser in a 2-0 count now. Lefty on lefty here. Justin Wilson delivers. Cowser fouls that ball off. Looked like a cutter at the top of the zone. That one goes way back into the stands behind. So 2-1 for Colton Cowser. Tie game once more. Orioles definitely playing a lot better in terms of fighting back and not giving up games early, which they did early on in the season a lot as Cowser fouls that fastball back 2-2. Definitely felt early on in the season Orioles would go down early through some bad pitching, and then just the offense was not able to get anything going. Obviously not a 1-0 deficit is not huge by any stretch of the matter, but it's still, this is something that the Orioles have been doing a lot more recently as Cowser knocks this one out toward the monster, off the monster, and Duran throws it into Trevor Story at shortstop, but Not before another run gets in. Colton Cowser with an RBI knock. Luis Vasquez in, makes it 2-1 Orioles. Mountcastle to third, Cowser to second. That was a hard hit ball off the top of the monster. Took a bounce away from Yoshida in left over to Duran. I believe Duran's in center field. I think. Let me actually double check that so I don't sound like a complete fool. But nope, I am not. At least not this time. Duran is in center field. Good, strong hit from Cowser, who's definitely been struggling at the plate recently. Duran with a barehanded catch and throw back into shortstop, but was too late to prevent one run. Did prevent 2 runs, as Justin Wilson is now out of the game. Presumably he was brought in to, counter the lefty Gunnar Henderson and the lefty Cowser, but got it against Gunnar, did not get it against Cowser, and also did not get it against Mountcastle. And Wilson is out. A new pitcher will be in for the Red Sox as the Orioles suddenly flip a 1-run deficit into a 1-run lead here in the top of the 5th. So let me go back and reference some more MLB scoreboards just to see if anything's changed. St. Louis still up over Miami. Toronto still up over Pittsburgh. Mets still up over Washington. Philly still over Seattle. White Sox have actually tied the game against Atlanta. White Sox obviously having a terrible year, but so is Atlanta. Both those teams probably still playing pretty hard. White Sox better than they were last year, but not saying much. The Athletics are currently leading the Twins 2-1. Texas up 2-1 over the Kansas City Royals. Milwaukee's leading the Cubs in their second game of the day, 1-0, top of the second. Guess we can talk about the Mets a little bit, since I'm looking at their score at the moment after I take a sip of water. The Mets, who traded for Cedric Mullins and Gregory Soto from the Orioles prior to the deadline, were definitely probably considered one of the favorites in the National League. I think, if I remember correctly, they actually made it to the NLCS against the Dodgers last year, but they're definitely struggling, but they did sign Juan Soto to that massive deal in the offseason. He's been hitting well. But Mets overall really been struggling from what I've seen in the past month or so. Obviously not today against the Nationals, currently up 7-0 top of the 8th. They almost certainly have that one in the bag unless they pull, Mets and blow it. But which I think they did one time against the Nats a few years ago, where they're up big and blew it late. But I will keep an eye on that. I doubt it's going to happen, as back in the Orioles-Red Sox game, Kobe Mayo takes ball 1 from Greg Weissert. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce his name. Weissert, 56 games, 3.16 ERA, 51 1/3 innings pitched. That slider loops around, kind of curls in by the knees for strike 1 to Kobe Mayo. 4-seam, sinker, cutter, slider, change, curve listed on StatCast. Kind of a balance between almost all of them except for the changeup. Is that 4-seamer right down the middle. Mayo swings and misses underneath it. It is 1-2. Mayo does have a hard hit in this game. That was a green monster knock for a single. In a bit of a hole here as he will take strike 3 right down the middle. Mayo was probably looking for something else there, as that was a fastball almost middle, maybe a little bit low and away, but only slightly. Very well within the zone, at least according to the broadcast here. And yeah, that's about as middle as you can get, and Kobe just did not swing. So second out here in the top of the 5th for the Red Sox. Still second and third for the Orioles. Dylan Beavers swings through a slider there. Perfectly located slider for strike 1. Beavers has lined out and struck out in this game. Would certainly love another knock here. Maybe a double off the monster. Although he's lefty, so would have to be an opposite field knock off the monster as he takes a fastball high, 1-1. But this is Orioles are hoping Beavers can get into these situations and get a base hit with runners in scoring position here. 0 for 2 so far today. We'll see if that changes. Beavers will take a ball in the dirt. That gets by Wong, and that is another run scored for the Orioles on a wild pitch. Mountcastle in to score, so 3-1 Orioles. Beavers doesn't even have to do anything to get the third run in. And Cowser will also advance to third, as that looked like... I don't think that was a slider, because that kind of came back. That might have been a changeup, maybe. Just in the dirt, skipped away from Wong, who couldn't field it, bounced over to the dugout, and Mountcastle could kind of just trot into home plate, no stress whatsoever. So 3-1 Baltimore here, 2-1 to the count to Beavers. Beavers will hit this one high into left field, and that is foul. 2-2. So Weissert comes in, gets one out, but also throws a wild pitch to score a run charged to Wilson. Weissert throws. That one's inside. Almost gets by Wong again on a fastball. 3-2 to Beavers. Cora might be chewing a sunflower seed or some gum there in the dugout. Doesn't look too pleased at the moment. His bullpen options have not done exactly what he's wanted so far, as Beavers will swing and miss at a slider there to end the fifth, but not before the Orioles get 3 runs in the top of the 5th inning. So we'll take a short break here after a very, very strong inning for the Orioles. Finally get some runs in for them. And now actually halfway through the game, and go to the bottom of the 5th in a moment. Back with the bottom of the 5th, Orioles took a 3-1 lead in the top of the 5th, as Sagano's first pitch to Connor Wong is a ball. Had a big knock from Colton Cowser to drive in the go-ahead run off of the Green Monster. A wild pitch also extended the lead to 3-1. Wong will foul this one off. 1-1 is the count. Mountcastle also with an RBI, so some of the guys I think the Orioles really want to get going again offensively, producing some hits with runners in scoring position. Sagano's next pitch is down and away for a ball 2 with a fastball. Wong, the Red Sox lone run scorer so far, had a single, I believe that's what it was. Yeah, single, and then got second on an error. And then eventually was advanced to third on a ground out and got home on a balk. This time he will ground out to Sagano, not get anywhere on that first out for the Orioles there. Sagano is certainly happy about that. No more Connor Wong, most likely for the night, I would assume. He's already up to 70 pitches. Unless he blazes through the rest of the order in record time, I doubt he'll see Connor Wong again. Sagano's definitely had some traffic. Not his, in terms of pitch count, might not be his best inning. Currently at 74 pitches now through 4 and a third. But has only given up the 1 run so far, 1 unearned run. Throws ball 1 to Roman Anthony, who is 1 for 2, singled and reached on the error by Jackson Holliday. Takes strike 1 there for a splitter, 1-1. Anthony, the Red Sox big young prospect, got called up in the season. Takes strike 2 there on the outside on a fastball. Plays right field here in Fenway Park. Definitely a awkward right field to play, just with how shallow and, you know, not conventional the seating arrangement is. The Red Sox bullpen continues to get warm and churn through its players. Red Sox have an off day tomorrow as Anthony smacks a ball foul. I should say it's more he taps a ball foul back to home plate. Saves a strikeout there. But the Red Sox have an off day tomorrow. I believe the O's do as well. The O's will be going back home to Camden Yards to play a 4-game series against the Astros. And then travel, I think, back to, or they might host Boston again after that. Immediately after that for a 3-game series. I believe it's something along those lines where the, I think next good while is going to be Astros, the Red Sox for the Baltimore Orioles. As for this game between the Red Sox, Sagano throws a fastball to Anthony. Anthony flies to center field right to Colton Cowser in front of the Green Monster. So a bit of a loud second out there for Tomoyuki Sagano, but was only an out. No damage done there. Cowser tosses the ball back in. And Madison showing graphic here. First 12 starts for Sagano, 3.04 ERA. Next 7, 7.88 ERA. Last 4, 2.31. So bad stretch of starts there for Sagano, kind of in July, June, that stretch, but kind of late July, August for him has been significantly better as Bregman takes strike one. 80 pitches now for Sagano through 4 2/3. That is a ball on a curveball, 1-1. Depending on how this sequence with Bregman goes, I think if it goes long and Sagano has to face another batter, I could see this being his last inning. If it goes short, I could maybe see him going in for another batter or two in the 6th. Bregman foul tips one into the dirt for strike 2 on a, look like a fastball or maybe a sinker. Bregman is 0 for 2 in this game. One of the big free agency signings for the Red Sox. Probably the big free agency signing, I'd say. As for the Orioles free agency signing, Sagano, he sets, delivers, throws. That one is chopped foul back over home plate by Bregman. So it's still 1-2. 83 pitches now for Sagano. So the pitch count is definitely getting up there for the longtime veteran of Nippon Pro Baseball. But he's only so far given up the 1 run. Bregman will take ball 2 on a curveball there. Look, almost like a slider compared to a curveball. It definitely had more horizontal rather than vertical movement, but call it the curveball. It's definitely a breaking ball, I'll say that. And it was a breaking ball for ball 2. So 2-2 here for Bregman. Nobody on. Bottom 5th, 2 outs. Bregman will pop this one up high into center left field. Cowser will call off Carlson and make the catch. So 1-2-3 inning for Tomoyuki Sagano. Exactly what he needs as a sort of shutdown inning after the O's score 3. And we go to the 6th inning here at Fenway Park. Orioles lead it 3-1. And I'll try and come up with some kind of topic I can think of here in the meantime, because I just took a break, but for the moment, I will take a sip of water. Always got to stay hydrated. And from the looks of it, Tampa Bay and New York is still in a rain delay. The White Sox have taken an 8-4 lead over the Braves. Washington is on the board, though it's still down by 6 runs at this point. Let me see if Twitter has anything on the Yankees Rays game. See if they have a start time or not, or if it's just going to get postponed. I have not seen anything yet. Doesn't seem like there's any updates, at least on the Yankees side. Let's check the Rays and see if they have anything. Nope, they have not said anything about a start date, so could be a start at 10, go to 1, or they could just save it for tomorrow. We'll see. As for, luckily there's no rain here, no rain here where I'm at, and no rain up in Fenway either. Dodgers Rockies has also started out west in Colorado. Dodgers already up 2-0. They've certainly been a powerhouse this season, reigning World Series champions, though they have been having some trouble in the division race with San Diego. They did beat San Diego in their latest series, I believe. to retake the division lead. As we get back here at the top of the sixth, Weisert's still in, pitching to Carlson. That ball is way offside. Curveball for ball one. Carlson 1 for 1, I believe, with a walk as well. He will foul that pitch off for a strike, 1-1. Yes, Carlson has walked, and he is also hit. Carlson actually got a double, not a single, I should amend. Takes ball 2 there, so he's reached first and he's reached second in his first 2 plate appearances, but he did not get home in either of those. Leading off the inning here, we'll see if that changes at all. As he takes ball 3 from Weissert, another slider outside. 3-1 here for the switch hitting Dylan Carlson. I believe a former St. Louis Cardinals first-round pick a while ago. Definitely a journeyman at this point. Carlson smashes this ball high into right field. Abraham Toro tracking it and finds it in foul ground for the first out. So Carlson will not reach base this time. That ball hung up in the air for an eternity. Maybe hung up there long enough that the Yankees and Rays game will actually get started at. Obviously, that is hyperbole and it has not started yet, but, you know, this is a good long fly ball in terms of height. Orioles broadcast showing Trevor Rogers in the dugout next to Samuel Basallo. Rogers had his usual 7+ inning, one or less run start that he's been doing for the past 12 starts. It's actually kind of absurd. Rogers has been one of, if not the best pitchers in baseball since he's come back, which is kind of insane given how not good he was last year and that he's injured to start this year, but he's actually been absurd and it's insane. Alex Jackson takes ball 1, so it's 1-1 in the count there from the 9-hitter. But yeah, Trevor Rogers was maligned for a while since Kyle Stowers in Miami, who got traded away, was having an all-star season in the first half. Alex Jackson will hit this ball out to right field directly to Roman Anthony for the second out of the inning. But as someone who is in a lot of online, or views a lot of online spaces for sports and Baltimore Orioles, people were not happy with the Trevor Rogers trade whatsoever, given Kyle Stowers' production. Well, we're also getting a bullpen change here for the Red Sox with 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 6th. But as for the Trevor Rogers trade, since he has suddenly turned into Cy Young himself in this season, I think people are less upset with the trade. And I think it's rightfully, at least from what we can tell so far, being called a win-win, which, you know, for a year into the trade, I would agree. And Orioles traded away Kyle Stowers and Connor Norby, 2 prospects that they had. Stowers, an outfield prospect, Norby an infield prospect. Norby has kind of not really been able to crack the Marlins major league roster consistently, which is unfortunate to see because I liked Norby when he was, you know, the few games he played in Baltimore. You know, it's Norman time and all that. But Stowers obviously had just an outstanding start to the season this year, made the All-Star team. Currently on the injured list, definitely took a bit of a step back in the past, you know, couple weeks, but it is what it is. You know, not everyone can stay hot for forever, but hopefully he comes back happy and healthy off the injured list. Marlins obviously not having the season to remember, but some of their young guys are definitely playing well. Stowers being one of the chief, not prospects. I don't know, one of the guys they like the most so far for the Miami Marlins, who are currently losing 7-4 to the St. Louis Cardinals. As for Trevor Rogers and the Orioles, again, also not the season they want, but Trevor Rogers has been showing why the Orioles traded for him and then some. So another pitching change for the Red Sox. Steven Matz in. both a St. Louis Cardinal and Boston Red Sox this year. 3.28 ERA. Strike one there on a sinker to Jackson Holliday. Fourth time through the order for the Baltimore Orioles. Oh, and he hits Jackson Holliday up and in on the, looks like the shoulder guard or elbow guard. That's not good. Looks like Holliday's all right, though. Matt's primarily a sinker baller. This one just kind of twists up and in, hits him right on the elbow guard. So it's where you put those things for a reason. So Jackson looks fine at the moment. Sinker, curve, change, slider. Sinker, curve, throws basically 90% of the time between those two pitches. And that one is a curveball into Luis Vasquez, who takes it for strike one right in the middle. Vasquez walked his last time up. He will swing through a sinker ball there. That was a very fast sinker, 95 miles an hour. Looked more just like a standard fastball there. 0-2 for Vasquez. Vasquez eventually walked and scored. He will take ball one inside. Although last time Vasquez walked, there was no outs in the inning. This time there are two. Holliday on first after the hit by pitch. Vasquez will kind of flip his bat, hit the ball way below the zone, flies out easily to Masataka Yoshida. So the hit by pitch ends up being nothing for either team. Mostly just probably going to be a painful welt for Jackson Holliday come the end of the day. Looks like the Orioles will be bringing in Keegan Aiken for the bottom of the sixth inning. And yep, that will mean Sagano's day is done after giving up one unearned run, but definitely his pitch count was in the 80s at that point, so it makes sense. And I think at this point, take another break here. Yeah, I mean, it's only been 15 minutes for this recording, but I'll take another break here. Be back in a moment for the bottom of the sixth. So bottom of the sixth here, Orioles bring in the cool-handed lefty Keegan Aiken to pitch. Seen Aiken in a closer role occasionally this season after Bautista has gone down with injury, but I believe Manzolino has said that bullpen's kind of a nebulous sort of thing, and kind of he puts in the pitchers he thinks are good in the moment. There's no real set roles here, as Aiken has thrown strike one to Jarren Duran. Duran will smack a ball right back up to Henderson, who is basically playing behind second base. Throws it to first for the out. So 2-pitch out for Keegan Aiken. Gets the dangerous Jarren Duran. Trevor Story up next. But yeah, for the Orioles bullpen, it's with placing Felix Bautista on the injured list, ending his season, and trading away the bigger leverage guys, as Story will smack this one out to Beavers in right for a 1-pitch out. But Orioles trade away their high leverage relievers in Sir Anthony Dominguez to Toronto, Gregory Soto to the Mets, and Andrew Kittredge to the Cubs. There isn't really like a definitive setup, closer, swing, any of those kind of roles in the bullpen anymore. It's just kind of, from what I can tell, it's a lot of matchups and who's pitched a lot, who hasn't, who's hot, who's not. Yoshida takes strike one here from Keegan Aiken, who's definitely been pitching a lot more recently. He was on the injury list as well for a little while. Came back, I want to say, about a month ago. Could be a bit more recent than that. Aiken throws ball one on a slider to Yoshida. But we've seen Keegan Aiken close. We've seen, I think it's Curtis Martin. Martin, I know, is his last name. I'm blanking on his first name as we get ball two to Yoshida. He's closed a game. Dietrich Enns has closed a game. And yeah, so there's no closer anymore, basically. Yoshida will ground this one over to Kobe Mayo, and he will flip it to Keegan Aiken, who will reach the bag before Yoshida. So a very, very quick 1-2-3 inning for Keegan Aiken. Just 7 pitches, so In this case, the call to the bullpen was a good one. Orioles quickly erased the Red Sox in the bottom of the 6th. We will move on to the 7th. Here during commercial break, I think my topic for this commercial break is a recent announcement from the Helldivers team. I'm assuming to coincide with the release date on Xbox, but collaboration with Halo and Halo ODST, which I think is really cool. I haven't actually played ODST at all, or really many of the Halo games, but I know plenty of people who do. I know just the Halo franchise, Halo fans, and especially ODST has a lot of really passionate fans. So seeing that specific part of the franchise get more love in a game like Helldivers that is pretty similar to ODST from what I can tell, and getting that kind of love and recognition and having it be in Helldivers is really, really cool. And it's also pretty monumental in gaming in general, since it is an official collaboration between Sony and Microsoft, which is absolutely wild. Like seeing an official, like the official PlayStation Twitter account tweet out about Halo, technically, like mention Halo ODST and all that is absolutely wild. And like same with seeing the official Xbox Twitter account, tweet a game with like the PlayStation logo on the front is wild to think. I mean, it's not that the console wars have really been much of a major thing recently. I mean, both PlayStation and Xbox also collaborate with PC all the time. It's really Nintendo that's the only one that's not, that's kind of isolated, but it's pretty major for, one of Xbox's prime series in Halo to, collaborate with one of the sudden big juggernauts of PlayStation. Anyway, back to the 7th inning. Enough of the video game talk for the moment. Matz is still in. Throws strike 1 to Gunnar Henderson. Henderson will now take strike 2. It's a fastball top right of the corner of the zone, and then a fastball bottom left corner of the zone. Quickly 0-2. Gunnar Henderson not too happy about it, but from the box shown on TV, they were both strikes. Gunnar Henderson takes his time to, take a second, readjust. Matz throws this one. Gets Gunnar swinging on a curveball down and away, nowhere in the zone. So 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Gunnar Henderson is out. Steven Matz is rolling so far. But it is he'll need the offense to get going, since Red Sox are still down 3-1 here in the 7th inning. Orioles showing a flashback to the 5th inning where they scored all 3 of those runs. Mountcastle, Cowser contributed to 2 of them. Wild pitch also scored the 3rd. Mountcastle now up to bat. Last time he was up, he scored that RBI single off the wall. He will swing through a pitch 0-2 after taking strike 1. So Steven Matz is rolling really well so far after coming out of the bullpen. But one swing could change that. Mountcastle certainly has power. Lefty on righty. Mountcastle did have that single off a lefty last time. He will take a ball in the dirt that skips over to the dugout. Not that there was anyone on base, so no threat there. 1-2 for Mountcastle. So, battle between the, not MAs, but battle between the last name of M, Matz and Mountcastle. Matz delivers. Mountcastle swings and misses at strike 3 on a sinker. I mean, it's called a sinker, but it really looks just like a four-seam fastball with how fast and how straight it moves. Either way, it's a strikeout. Second strikeout of the inning for Matz. Mountcastle swings through a ball right at the top corner of the zone, top right corner of the zone, inside on his hands. Very good pitch there for Steven Matz. So Colton Cowser, who also had an RBI knock, an RBI double in the 5th inning, takes ball 1 on a slider. Cowser reached to third on that wild pitch, but did not get driven home. He will now ground a ball to second base, thrown out there. So very quick 1-2-3 inning. Good play there by Romy Gonzalez at second, getting Colton Cowser out on a hard line drive. And just like that, we're into the bottom of the seventh. That was very, very fast. Very, very fast seventh inning overall. So now it's suddenly put on the spot of trying to think of another topic. I mean, I guess I can keep talking about, the Helldivers and ODST, but I'm interested to see. I mean, the Warbond itself, from what I can tell, looks pretty cool. They're bringing in the a battle rifle, which I'm happy to see from the classic Halo battle rifle. But I'm very interested to see like how the Halo series is going to go from here, since Infinite was its most recent release back in I think 2021, and it was kind of, from what I could tell, pretty mid. So I mean, I don't know how blanking on a word to describe it, but wow, that's complete mind blank on what I should say, what adjective I would say. But I don't know how Microsoft is willing and excited to, keep moving with the Halo series. Like if there's another, like a Halo, I guess it would be 7 at this point, because I guess Halo Infinite would be Halo 6. It's like if there's any like plans or development going on for another mainline Halo game at the moment. But it's good to see that at least for a little bit, the series is getting some love, with some new things, and of all things, in a PlayStation game. Well, not exclusively a PlayStation game, but a Sony game, which is, again, absolutely wild to think about. I'm sure. I'm very interested to see the reception from Halo fans and how many Xbox players actually hop onto Helldivers, since it's definitely got a lot of hype and it's a very, very good community. But yeah, we'll see. Back at Camden Yards, as I basically stalled for time there, since the top of the second went through so quickly. Keegan Aiken still on the mound, going to now against Robin Gonzalez, 2 for 2 in the game, 2 singles. Keegan Aiken threw just 7 pitches in the bottom of the 6th, got 3 outs. Throws strike 1 here to Gonzalez. Jordan Hicks and Gavin Whitlock both up in the bullpen for the Red Sox. Ball 1 to Gonzalez, bit high on a fastball. Gonzalez did not swing. So Gonzalez pretty strong against lefty pitching, and Aiken is a lefty. This one, fly ball out to right field, but no real threat there as Beavers makes the catch easily. Gonzalez retired for the first time in the game. So 3 pitch out there for Keegan Aiken, who is rolling so far here and late in the game. Got through the 7th inning stretch pretty quickly there. Orioles 5-1 in their last 6 games. 6.3 runs per game, according to the graphic I can see on my TV. And .76 ERA for starters, which is kind of insane. Starting pitching has been really, really strong for the Orioles as of late. Aiken has thrown strike 1, and should have been strike 2 there to Nathaniel Lowe, but instead called ball 1. So 1-1 for Nathaniel Lowe, who is 0 for 2 in the game. Can play first base, is DHing today. He fouls this one off, 1-2. Aiken's throwing a lot of fastballs in this inning, not too many breaking balls, but has been working so far. Lowe taking his time here. Now is back, fouls this inside fastball off to stay alive. Still 1-2. Aiken pitching to Alex Jackson. Nathaniel Lowe in between. He grounds this one right back to Aiken with a good catch. Toss to Mayo, and second out in the inning for Keegan Aiken. Nathaniel Lowe is 0 for 3. Let me get another drink of water because my throat's starting to get scratchy. So Abraham Toro up next. He is struck out and grounded out. 0 for 2 in this game. Strike one there to Toro on a good slider on the outside part of the plate. Red Sox have not had a base runner in a couple of innings. As Lowe just got out. Toro takes high for ball 1. There's strike 2 to Toro on another slider on the outside part of the plate. Not a super high horizontal movement slider, but movement enough. Toro did not offer there. 1-2. Aiken pitches. Another slider there. That one Toro hits. Grounds to Gunnar Henderson. He throws to Kobe Mayo. Gets the out. 1-2-3 once more for Keegan Aiken. A few more pitches this time, but same result in the end. 7th inning over. On to the 8th. Looks like it will be Jordan Hicks coming in for the Red Sox to pitch in the 8th inning. Down 2 runs. Jordan Hicks, former San Francisco Giant. Acquired in the much publicized Rafael Devers trade, which is something that definitely shocked a lot of people. I mean, from what I could tell, Devers had was complaining a good bit about playing time and playing position with the Red Sox coming into this year, but people just were not expecting anything to really come of it since the Red Sox had just signed him to a massive extension. And, Devers was one of their core guys that they had, but they traded him anyway. Obviously, Jordan Hicks was not the only thing they got out of it. Otherwise, that would be an awful deal. It was more prospects that they got, and also, I'm assuming, kind of a salary dump for giving away Rafael Devers. And from what I can tell, Devers, I don't know if he's been playing all that well. I don't think he has, because I haven't really heard much about it. I know the Giants as a whole have not been, amazing. They are 61-64, so they're a little bit below 500. I remember there was definitely a lot of talk of the Giants, buying at the deadline, going big, but I think they stagnated a bit and didn't, which is probably the right move given how their season's kind of unfolding at the moment. They're 3rd in the division behind Dodgers and the Padres. But yeah, it's definitely, the Devers trade was definitely one that shocked a lot of people. Hicks was a starter and reliever for San Francisco for a while, but kind of fell off a cliff after a little in these past year or so. So more of a low-end reliever for the Red Sox coming in down 2 runs, top of the 8th. I believe he pitched the 9th inning yesterday. I want to say he pitched yesterday. But he's obviously pitching now. Jordan Hicks, 28 games, 6.61 ERA. Not pretty good there. 62 2/3 innings pitched, 1.58 whip, which is actually pretty good. Pitching here to Kobe Mayo, who takes strike 1 on a sinker, 96, which is, again, it's sinker. Matt's had a 95. Hicks has a 96-mile-per-hour sinker. That's like, it's just so fast to even be really qualified as a sinker, where it's just, is there any movement? I mean, there probably is, but it's for baseball plebeian like me who doesn't know the ins and outs. it looks just like a normal fastball to me. Kobe is taking ball 1 away, 1-1 here. Swings at a ball outside, 1-2 on a sweeper there. Cade Stroud for the Orioles is warming in the bullpen. So most likely Keegan Aiken will not pitch the bottom of the 8th. And again, Cade Stroud is not what you would think of as a typical setup man, but in this Orioles bullpen that can look different on any given day. He's looking to get the 8th, currently up by 2. Mayo has taken ball 2, so it is 2-2 on another sweeper away. Righty on righty matchup here. Hicks delivers. Mayo chops the ball over to the third base side, fielded cleanly there by Bregman. Throws to first. Toro slipped a little bit on his split, but he gets the out. So no harm, no foul there. Yes, it was Jordan Hicks pitching in, it must have been the 8th inning then, because it was against Samuel Basallo, who got a 2 RBI single off of a high fastball up in the zone, or up over the zone, I should actually say. It was not in the zone. Basallo not playing today still. Doesn't look like he will be playing. Almost certainly will be playing a good bit over the next few days. Probably over the rest of the season. Well, we'll see a good bit of Samuel Basallo. Dylan Beavers also up at the moment. Currently 1-0 in the count. Beavers takes a splitter low, just low of the zone, 2-0. Beavers has struck out twice, one swinging, one looking, and is also lined out. He will take ball 3 here, so 3-0 count. He has already swung and got a hit off a 3-0 count so far in his career. That was in Houston. So could probably see a green light here as well if he gets the pitch he wants. Instead, he will take all the way on a fastball right down the middle, 97. So 3-1 was definitely a pitch he could have swung at, but instead takes. Hicks steps off. Looks like he might want a new ball. Wants something. He's shaking his finger. Umpires talking with him, as well as Wong and the catcher. Or the catcher, Connor Wong. More of the umpires are getting together. Not really sure what this is. Something's going on. No idea what it is. Could be a pitch clock issue. Could be a ball issue. Could be something else entirely. At least 3 of the umpires are up at the pitching mound. There's some kind of flashing lights. Oh, it might be a fire alarm actually or something. It's the lights in the stadium are flashing kind of like a fire alarm light would. Apparently, from what I can hear on the Orioles broadcast, there's no fire alarm in the building itself, so it could have maybe just been a prank. Yeah, definitely the fire alarm lights. I don't know if the sound is going off, but the lights are going off, so not your usual stoppage here. Yeah, we are currently experiencing an alarm. Please remain calm as we investigate the source of the alarm. Further instructions will follow as necessary, according to the Jumbotron at Fenway Park. So a unexpected delay here in the top of the 8th inning for the Red Sox and Orioles game. Well, hopefully the technical crew at Fenway Park can get this alarm sorted out. I will take another sip of water here as I have a brief reprieve that was not planned. So yeah, got a conference from the umpires. The Red Sox infield is talking. Beaver still lingering at home plate. No shutdown yet of the alarm from, no, that's actually outfield. Over up top on the Green Monster. So lights are still flashing. Not sure what the alarm was, because I guess it's not a fire alarm. Don't know if it's an alarm set off on purpose or like for an actual emergency, or if it was a false alarm, or if it was a malfunction, or if it was someone pulling a prank. Don't know. We'll have to find out after. Alex Cora still in his brooding stance, I would say. Trevor Rogers talking with some of the other guys in the Orioles dugout on the Orioles broadcast. Beaver's getting a long time to think about what next pitch is coming. We got a view of Ryan Mountcastle now. Looks like I'm not sure who he was talking to there. Lights are still flashing. So I guess now I have to try and find another topic to talk about. Now that I suddenly have more time, let me go over. Oh, I think never mind. The alarms have been shut off. So back to playing baseball here in a second. White Sox up 10-4, just looking at the scoreboard. Mariners pulling it back slightly for 6-4 against the Phillies. There's a little bit of smoke over the outfield. Don't know if that was from the fire or not. The Nationals did not come back against the Nets. Not the Nets, the Mets. Nets are in Brooklyn, Mets are in Queens, as Beavers takes a walk on 5 pitches. I believe the Mets are in Queens. Pretty sure they're in Queens. I know the Nets are in Brooklyn because they are called the Brooklyn Nets. Dodgers up 6-0 against the Rockies. I think the St. Louis-Miami game went final. St. Louis wins 7-4. Chicago has taken the lead over Milwaukee 2-1. End of the 4th there. As Carlson goes up against Hicks, takes strike 1 down the middle. Kansas City up 3-2 against Texas. Athletics up 6-3 against the Twins. Yankees and Rays are still in a rain delay. And Carlson avoids a pitch at the knees for ball 1 there. Good work by Connor Wong to actually catch the ball and not have a wild pitch go past him. Blue Jays up 7-3 over the Pirates. Detroit, Houston, still nothing. Top of the 8th there. Carlson smacks the ball foul, 1 and 2. And I believe that is all the scores at the moment. So Hicks at 13 pitches going up against Carlson. Carlson with a hit and a walk in the game. Also has gotten out. We'll take ball 2 there. Carlson last time up, fouled out to first base. In an even count, 2-2 here. 1 out, runner on first. Hicks delivers. Carlson will knock this one high and foul into the third base side stands, all the way up in the stands. So Carlson battling here with Jordan Hicks, with Dylan Beavers on first. Beavers has not attempted to steal. Hicks delivers. Carlson will take strike 3. Good splitter there in the bottom of the zone. Carlson was looking for something else or just realized too late. Either way, strikeout looking for Jordan Hicks. Good sideways motion on that splitter for him, which I guess that's how they're calling it. I feel like splitter doesn't usually have a sideways movement, but that's what they say. So either way, kind of an off-speed, fastball-y kind of pitch. Hicks will check back to first, but Beavers is fine there. In the end, it was a strikeout for Carlson. Alex Jackson is now up to bat. 0 for 3 in the game. He will take ball 1. For 3 with a strikeout for Alex Jackson, the current catcher for this game. Again, Adley Rutschman out with some kind of injury. We don't know if it's going to be long-term or not. Alex Jackson shatters the bat on a ball dribbled over to third base. Bregman will throw Alex out at first on a play where the bat head wound up in early left field, and the ball wound up in the glove of Alex Bregman at third, and then Abraham Toro at first base. So Orioles get nothing there off of a 1-out walk from Dylan Beavers, so still 3-1. And I believe it was Cade Stroud who should be here in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll take another break. Probably going to be the last one, unless it goes to extras, because there's still 1.5 innings left of baseball left to go. So be back in just a moment. So it'll be Cade Stroud coming in on the bottom of the 8th inning. 10 games, 2.19 ERA, 12 and third innings pitched, 1.05 whip. Opponent's hitting 195 off of him. Definitely a bit up and down as a reliever, a young guy as well. He's going to be facing Connor Wong, the lone Red Sox run scorer, back in, I believe, the 4th inning is what it was. Wong takes strike 1 on a breaking ball. Actually, the third inning that Red Sox scored their run. Sweeper there for strike one. Another sweeper there. Wong couldn't hold up on the swing on the sweeper that was a little low, a little outside. But the swing makes it strike two. 0-2 to Connor Wong. Keegan Aiken goes 2 innings. Perfect. 6 up, 6 down for him. Sagano gives up the 1 run in 6 innings. Or 5 innings, I should say. Not 6. Stroud throws another sweeper. Wong, wise to this one, knocks it out into right field for a single. Roman Anthony, the tying run, now up to the plate. So 3 straight sweepers, not enough to take out Connor Wong. Wong with a good high swing. That ball was kind of top left of the zone, a little bit outside, but 3 sweepers in a row. He was able to see it and hit it. Roman Anthony 1 for 3 in the game. Grounded into what should have been a double play in the 3rd inning, but Jackson Holliday committed the error and eventually led to the unearned run that Red Sox currently only have, but potential for more depending on how this goes. Red Sox crowd really getting into it now that they're in a good spot to get a run here. Anthony will ground this one through the left side out into left field for a base hit. So first and second, nobody out. Alex Bregman coming up. Now the go-ahead run. So home run from Alex Bregman would take the lead back for the Red Sox here. Wouldn't walk it off since it's only the 8th inning, but definitely would put the Orioles in a very awkward spot since they would only have 3 more chances at that to tie the game up. Stroud getting hit around so far in his first 2 batters. Bregman 0 for 3 so far in this game, but obviously a very big threat, hitting around 300. Alex Jackson out to talk with Cade Stroud. Looks like, I forget his first name, but Garcia for the Orioles. I'm, again, not a pitcher they use super often. Give me 1 second. I will be able to find out his last name, or his first name. Rico Garcia. He is warming in the bullpen. Aroldis Chapman, the Red Sox closer, also warming just in case. Chapman having a really, really good season for the Red Sox. The hard-throwing lefty. Has been in the league for a good long while, seen pretty much everything. And Stroud hits Bregman. That ball gets through, so might not have hit Bregman. Either way, it gets through, and it's a wild pitch, so runners at second and third. Definitely looked like it hit Bregman. Right now, they're saying it hasn't. Just not a good pitch from Stroud at all. Actually did look like it missed Bregman. Either may have skimmed his jersey. So it's either going to be second and third. And yeah, so it's second and third, nobody out. 1-0 count to Bregman. Stroud in a big hole here after some poor pitching so far. That sweeper off the plate, 2-0. And also some pretty good hitting from the Red Sox 9-1 hitters, Wong and Anthony against Stroud. A couple of singles, now a wild pitch. Both the tying runs are now in scoring position. That ball just a little high, 3-0 on a cutter. Bregman sitting 3-0. So interested. I could probably see him getting a green light here. Just try and get a ball out. Could sac fly would bring them within 1. And instead, it's a 4-pitch walk to Alex Bregman. Bases loaded, nobody out. And Tony Mansolino's going to make a pitching change here. So, not a good outing for Cade Stroud. 9 pitches, 3 base runners, nobody out. Rico Garcia will be coming into the game. He did not warm up all that much. Just kind of get up, throw a couple, and now you're in. So, tough spot here for the Orioles bullpen, which has been drained of a lot of its talent recently, and showing here on this one. They had been playing okay as of late. It was really the starters just been playing incredibly well, that the bullpen just didn't need to carry games as they kind of did in the first half of the season. But right now it's gonna need to find some magic here for the Orioles if they want to preserve their lead. So we'll check the out-of-town score. Oh, it looks like Yankees and Rays are finally underway. It's just one out in top of the first, so nothing going on there at the moment. White Sox up 10-6 over the Braves. No score changes too much elsewhere. Athletics up 6-3. I think that's a bit of a change. Dodgers up 7-0. And Philly beats Seattle 6-4. Seattle's on a bit of a skid recently in their close race with the Astros for first place in the NL West. Not NL West, AL West. I don't know why I said NL. I guess maybe because the Mariners were facing the Phillies. I don't know. It was one of two divisions, and I guessed wrong. But now, Braves make 10-8, bottom of the 7th, so that game is nowhere near done. Houston, Detroit still scoreless in their game, bottom of the 8th there. This game, though, is suddenly a lot closer than it was about 5 minutes ago. Cade Stroud lingering in the Orioles dugout. Certainly not happy with his performance. Rico Garcia, who's been with the Mets, Yankees, and now Orioles this season. 3.50 ERA in just 12 games, 18 innings pitched. So not too much time on the mound this season. And Red Sox with Jarren Duran up to bat. 0 for 3 in the game, but he is Jarren Duran. He will take strike one. First pitch changeup on the outside part of the zone. Wong, Anthony, Bregman are the runners. Bregman the go-ahead run, Anthony the tying run. Duran swings through another changeup right in the middle of the zone, 0-2. Garcia quickly up on the Red Sox center fielder. Duran taking his time readjusting his equipment. Garcia with a cold look in his eye. 2 straight changeups to Duran, 0-2, both in the zone. But one swing could change it all. Pitch is a strike 3. Another swinging strike on another changeup. Duran down 1-2-3. Rico Garcia with a strikeout and another cold look in his eye. Wow, what a strikeout there. That was a perfect pitch right at the bottom right corner of the zone. Some applause from the Orioles dugout. Looks like golf claps. Looked like Orioles were practicing their time from the BMW championship at Caves Valley this weekend with that kind of applause. But anyway, the Orioles not out of this inning yet. Trevor Story now up. He takes a ball just a bit low on a fastball. Trevor Story 1 for 3 in the game. Just a bit low. Could have nicked the zone. Again, a little too close to tell. I don't disagree with the call there. Garcia gets set to throw. Story is waiting. Story knocks this one out into right field in foul ground. Kobe Mayo just not barely able to get there. Would have been really tough. He would have had to dive for it. In the end, just a foul ball. So 1-1 here for Garcia against Story. Again, 3-1, bottom of the 8th, 1 out. Bases are loaded. Trevor Story singled in the first, has grounded out and lined out since. But he is a very, very dangerous hitter. Rico Garcia gets ready to face off against him once more. Story swings and misses at a slider down and away, 1-2. Story career with the bases loaded, 356 average, 4 grand slams, 66 RBIs in his overall career. So definitely some numbers there. 1-2 right now, though, against Rico Garcia. Story took his time off the plate. Now steps back in. Garcia gets ready to throw. And a swing and a miss on a slider again. This time it was in the zone, but Story missed it also. And suddenly there are 2 outs on strikeouts. Rico Garcia, 2/3 of the way through this inning, on some major, major strikeouts there. That slider didn't even have really any horizontal movement. That was just straight down on some corkscrew movement. Now it's Masataka Yoshida, 0 for 3 in the game. Garcia's pitch is low and away on a changeup, 1-0. Yoshida, 2 strikeouts and a ground out. And a 1-0 count at the moment. Again, bases loaded. Cade Stroud gave up 2 singles and a walk. Garcia has now struck out 2 in a row. This pitch, strike 1. Fastball in the zone, low, kind of low left. Yoshida, career with bases loaded, 391, 9 for 23, 2 grand slams, 28 RBIs. Big moment here. That pitch is low on another changeup, 2-1. Yoshida didn't offer. Garcia gets another ball. He's, again, no emotion from him whatsoever. He is just staring down the batters dead in the eye. 2-1 against Yoshida here. Delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 2 on a changeup low. Similar pitches to what he threw against Duran. Also a lefty there. Story was more the sliders. Suddenly it's 2-2. Garcia and Yoshida, 2-2, bases loaded, 3-1 ball game, bottom of the 8th. Pitch is swung on and missed. 4-seam fastball below the zone. Yoshida missed it. Alex Jackson gets it. Rico Garcia comes in, bases loaded, no outs against Duran, Story, Yoshida. Strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. Ends the 8th inning. 3-1 lead Baltimore going into the 9th. What a sequence there for Rico Garcia. Wow. That was something right there. So Orioles coming to bat with a huge sigh of relief. I'm sure Cade Stroud is feeling his heartbeat again after that. Yoshida with just a dejected sigh there. Quite the showing there for Rico Garcia. And the Orioles take their lead into the 9th inning. We'll see if they can get some more runs. And if not, I'm very interested to see who they'll have in the 9th. Maybe they'll throw out Rico Garcia again, given how he pitched right there. Oh, my goodness. Well, just looking at the scoreboard after that nail-biter, Braves have cut the lead down to 1. Chicago up 10-9. Yankees have already scored 3 in the first against the Rays. And that looks like the only change in score at the moment. The Reds and Angels are playing, as well as the Guardians and Diamondbacks. Both top the first, no score there for either of them. The Blue Jays have beaten the Pirates 7-3, which not really surprised there. Pirates not having a good year, traded away some players. Still have Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens playing incredibly well despite the lack of run support, but Blue Jays have been a very, very good team this year. And as for the others, let's see. I think those are the only finals at the moment. Chicago up 3-1 against Milwaukee now in that second game of the doubleheader. Dodgers still up 7-0. Royals still up 3-2. And top of the 9th, the Houston and Detroit still 0-0. But there is 1 out for, I believe, the 1 on, 1 out for the Astros, I believe. So just kind of, at this point, I'm scrolling through Twitter to kind of see some reactions on both sides on that incredible eighth inning from Rico Garcia. Brennan Bernardino is pitching the ninth for the Red Sox. Strike one there to Jackson Holliday. So Bernardino, lefty, comes in, gets Jackson Holliday to ground ball right back to him. So quick one out for Bernardino. See what StatCast has to say for Brennan Bernardino. Throws a sinker 43% of the time, cutter 13% of the time, slider change both rarely, and a curveball 26% of the time. So nothing straight at you, a lot of movement on his pitches. In this one, he got 2 pitches to get out Jackson Holliday. Vasquez will ground this one to third on the first pitch, and Alex Bregman will throw him out. So 3 pitches, 2 outs in the ninth here for the Red Sox. Probably what they need at this point to just kind of get back out. They probably really want to get back out with their bats and, you know, kind of avenge that 8th inning charge that failed thanks to the efforts of Rico Garcia. Yaramil, yeah, I think that's how it is pronounced, is warming in the Orioles bullpen. So presumably he will have the ninth unless Rico Garcia goes back out there. Gunnar Henderson takes a low strike for the first strike in the sequence. Wasn't super happy about it. Takes another strike. That one low, but definitely in the zone there. So 0-2 here for Henderson. Bernardino working a quick 9th inning at the moment. Henderson will ground this one off of Bernardino, but he fields it fairly cleanly after that and gets Henderson out quickly. So very, very quickly, the Orioles go down in order in the top of the 9th. It will be Giraldo to pitch the bottom of the 9th to close out the game for the Orioles. And yeah, we'll see how that goes after the nail bite of the 8th. So it will be Gonzalez, Lowe, Toro. Could potentially see a pinch hit for Nathaniel Lowe in the DH spot, depending on what Alex Cora wants to do. Well, we'll see how that goes going into the 9th inning. So again, very, very quick top of the 9th. And, you know, just barely get any time to breathe after that awesome performance by Rico Garcia in the bottom of the 8th. Suddenly it's now the bottom of the 9th. And Red Sox, once again, just need 2 runs to tie, 3 to win. Once again, checking Twitter to see the reactions from everyone. Yeah, Red Sox fans obviously not very happy about that sequence there in the 8th. Orioles fans certainly happy about what they just saw. And no, well, I guess there is a bit of a change in score. Kansas City has increased their lead against Texas 5-3. And other than that, no score there. Houston did not score on the top of the 9th against Detroit, so Tigers will have a chance to walk it off. Tigers been a very strong team this season. They started off incredibly hot. Cooled off a little bit recently, but still, I have to. They should be leading the division. I'm not going crazy there anyway. Yeah, they are leading the division by 3 games against the Guardians. Or no, Guardians are 3 back from the wild card. Leading by 8.5 games against the Guardians. I was going to say 3 games didn't sound about right. But, yeah, I mean, Detroit sent guys like Riley Green and Gleyber Torres to the All-Star game. Just and also they have Derek Skubal, who's insanely good. And I know he's had a rough couple of games in these past few starts, but Derek Skubal is still one of the best pitchers in the game as Giraldo throws ball 1 to Romy Gonzalez. According to StatCast, Giraldo, if he throws this pitch, which is a slider that Gonzalez could not hold up on, so 1-1 there. Giraldo throws a 4-seam fastball 39% of the time, slider 35% of the time, changeup 24% of the time. This pitch is a changeup That is low, 2-1. Kind of a looping changeup there. Slider is a bit more of a curve, kind of a sharp curve diagonally. This next pitch is a slider there. So it's kind of a changeup, kind of curves around to the so Geraldo's a right-handed pitcher. Changeup looks like it kind of curves up and then down to the right, whereas the slider kind of curves down to the left. 3-1 here for Gonzalez. He will take ball 4 on a fastball low. So the tying run is now in the batter's box. Tony Manzolino does not look happy about that whatsoever. 5 pitches and a walk for Romy Gonzalez. Nathaniel Lowe is not being pinch hit. He is still up 0 for 3 in the game. Manzolino really not happy from the looks of it. Lowe the lefty against Geraldo the righty. He will knock a ball out into right field, and that is tie game for the Red Sox. 2-run home run, Nathaniel Lowe. Wow, one swing. First pitch looked like a fastball or maybe a changeup inside in the zone. Nathaniel Lowe, who was picked up just recently by the Red Sox, hits his 17th home run of the season. 3-3 tie game. And still no outs. So Red Sox easily have a chance to win this here in the 9th. Geraldo's not looking on his game at the moment. And Alex Jackson will mound visit with Geraldo as Abraham Toro steps up to bat. He is 0 for 3. Yep, it was a fastball for Geraldo right in the kind of the bottom left corner of the zone. Didn't quite reach the corner itself, but in that area. Geraldo knew it instantly. And Lowe just with a pretty easy swing, but just a line drive right over the Red Sox bullpen. I beat Kevin Brown to the call on that right there. So suddenly we are tied again after a really strong battle for the Orioles to keep their lead intact. But I think that quick 9th inning certainly helped the Red Sox kind of just keep their mindset going into the bottom of the 9th with batting wise as Toro takes ball 1. He will swing through strike 1 on a changeup in the zone. Probably Geraldo's best pitch right there. Actually, I mean, one of his only good pitches, one of the only strikes he's thrown. That is a changeup for ball 2. Oh, that changeup, I guess, kind of looped over to the left. So I guess this changeup can kind of go in multiple directions. This one went down to the left and was not swung on by Toro. Geraldo pitches. That one is low for ball 3. Another changeup. Geraldo just does not seem to have it at the moment. Geraldo's throwing all changeups now at the moment. Connor Wong on deck. Wong 2 for 3 in the game. There's a fastball in the bottom corner. Basically, same location that the low homer was on, but Toro did not swing, and it was a strike, so 3-2. Still no outs in this 9th inning. 3 monumental outs that seem ways away right now with how pitching is going. Instead, gets a little bit less monumental as Toro swings and misses at a changeup there. First out for Geraldo. Now he's got Connor Wong in the 9th spot, so certainly no easy road here, but a good pitch there to get Abraham Toro out. Wong looks at strike 1 on a slider at the left side of the zone. 0-1. Geraldo finding the zone a bit more. Wong singled his last time up and got to third base, but did not score on that. Again, epic performance by Rico Garcia. That fastball, slider actually, just a little awkward movement, a little high. Roman Anthony, the Next guy up to bat. Obviously, Wong is the go-ahead run. He swings through a changeup down at the plate, 1-2. So, again, Wong the go-ahead run, but Roman Anthony also lingering could also be the go-ahead run depending on how this goes. Roman Anthony 2 for 4 in the game. So, again, guys who have gotten multiple hits in this game are still up. Geraldo is in no way out of this yet. Up against Wong, 1-2. He throws. Wong swings and misses at another changeup low. 2 outs now in the inning. So, after a walk and a home run, Geraldo has gone strikeout, strikeout. Now it's the young kid, Roman Anthony is. Looks like Aroldis Chapman will get the 10th inning if it goes to a 10th inning. Anthony swings through a changeup, strike one low. A lot of these changeups starting below the zone and still dipping, and yet Red Sox are swinging at them. 0-1 to Roman Anthony. Looks away at a changeup off the plate, 1-1. It's been pretty much all changeups for Geraldo, outside of an occasional slider and fastball ever since the home run. Another changeup, that one again low. Anthony wise to that one, 2-1. Here's the pitch once more. Geraldo gets ready. He throws. Fastball outside, 3-1. So it looked like Geraldo was rolling, but now suddenly he's behind Anthony, 3-1. He throws. That one's inside for ball 4, changeup. So Anthony looks at 5 pitches, swings at the first one and misses, then takes the next 4 and walks. Mancelino still with a grimace on his face. Doesn't look like he's walking out there, though. Will be Drew French, the pitching coach, though. Not sure if it's going to be a talk to kind of stall for bullpen time. Didn't look like anyone was warming in the Orioles bullpen. So Alex Bregman is the man at the plate with the bat as Drew French talks with Yamil Geraldo. So 2 walks in the inning for Geraldo, 1 home run given up, and 2 strikeouts. Alex Bregman 0 for 3 with a walk, I believe. Yes, with a walk. So no hits yet for Bregman, but could definitely change that here. And 1 hit could almost certainly win the game unless it's a soft single. Roman Anthony at first base. 21 pitches for Geraldo. He's given up a 2-run homer to tie the game. His first pitch to Alex Bregman is a ball low slider. Bregman, the longtime Astro. Astros have walked off the Orioles just recently, so don't know if there's a curse there. Geraldo checks back on Anthony, but the ball was neither caught nor would have really mattered. Anthony is safe at first. Geraldo tosses that ball away, gets a new one. 22 pitches, 1-0 the count to Alex Bregman. Orioles have certainly struggled in extra innings if they get there. So we'll see, even if they get there. That's a big if, now that Bregman is 2 on a fastball that misses inside. Geraldo has certainly lost that brief command he had in the span against Toro and Wong. Behind 2-0 to Bregman. His pitch inside, ball 3 on a fastball. Pretty much the same exact pitch as the last one. Jarren Duran on deck. Bregman 3-0. Could probably swing here. Pitch. It's a slider. Low. Is it called a ball? It was. Definitely clipped the zone, but it was called a ball. So Bregman walks for the second straight inning. So 4 walks over the past 2 innings for the Red Sox after not getting a single walk in the first 7 innings. Jarren Duran now up, struck out last time with the bases loaded. First and second, 2 outs. Takes a changeup low. Geraldo just cannot find the strike zone at the moment. Duran doesn't need a home run, just needs pretty much a single at this point. Another changeup, that one's low as well. Orioles just not even having the bullpen active. Geraldo's riding or dying here in the 9th inning. Either they go to the 10th or they lose, but it's going to be on the back of Yurmil Geraldo. This pitch is in the strike zone. Is it called a strike? Yes, it is. .28 pitches for Geraldo, 2-1 to Duran. Duran 0 for 4 in the game. 28 pitches, 10 strikes for Geraldo. 29 pitches, still 10 strikes, as that's fastball outside, 3-1. So in danger of loading the bases for a second straight inning. Trevor Story on deck. Geraldo delivers, and that is a ball just on the outside. Could have maybe been called a strike, but was more on the outside rather than the inside. Bases are loaded. 2 outs, 3-3. Trevor Story up. Still nobody up, really warming. Well, there might be someone warning. I can't quite tell on the broadcast, but no one's coming in to replace Geraldo. Mancelino's making no move to do so. So, pretty much this game is going to end either this game is going to end with Trevor Story or we're going to go to extras. Either way, this will be the last batter of the inning. We'll get a visit to the mound from Alex Jackson, and I think the infield is going to gather. Geraldo at 30 pitches, 20 strikes, 10 balls. Not a good inning whatsoever. And it's been walks, strikeouts, and a homer. So there's only been the 1 hit for the Red Sox, and that was the Nathaniel Lowe homer. But again, they're seeing Geraldo well and not swinging at what he's offering outside of the 8 and 9 hitters who struck out. But again, it's been a lot of walks, 4 walks. Trevor Story up. First pitch swung on and missed by Trevor Story on a changeup low and away. So 0-1 for Trevor Story. Ball in the dirt on a changeup, 1-1. Alex Jackson with a good catch there to prevent the game-scoring run on a wild pitch. Pitch there, just inside on a slider, 2-1. Geraldo now in danger of walking in the game-winning run, which would just be, frankly, embarrassing. Just, if it's going to be a game walk-off, I'd rather it be a hit than a walk. Story will line the ball over to third, force out at second, extra innings. So Red Sox tie the game, load the bases, but cannot bring home the winning run in the ninth. And we play on. I guess now, wasn't planning on taking another break. I was expecting the game to be over by now, but instead, we'll take one more break as we move on to the 10th inning. So we're on to the 10th inning after a absolutely wild sequence of innings there, 8th and 9th. Red Sox have loaded the bases twice in the 8th and 9th inning. Only got 2 runs out of it total. Aroldis Chapman here pitching in the 10th inning. A veteran of the game, a longtime closer and journeyman, finding himself on the Red Sox this season, having a very, very strong season. Will take the 10th inning. 3-3, Gunnar Henderson will be the automatic runner at second. Some good pitching for the Orioles, some bad pitching for the Orioles. Cade Stroud and Yarmel Geraldo having some bad outings. Rico Garcia having an amazing outing. Ryan Mountcastle versus Aroldis Chapman. Mountcastle takes strike 1 on a sinker right down the middle. Chapman delivers. Mountcastle swings and misses on another sinker. And it's a 97-mile-per-hour sinker, which is insane. I mean, I know Chapman throws his four-seamer in the hundreds, but still, it's a fastball where you're kind of taking it off. You're taking a little bit off from what I can tell, and still throwing that fast is wild. Mountcastle swings and misses. 3 on a third pitch. Strikeout there. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, 1 out. Aroldis Chapman. And again, Orioles in extras have not been amazing this year in the slightest. And going up against a guy with that's the caliber of Aroldis Chapman is going to be a big uphill battle. But also, given how strong he throws, one good hit could drive Gunnar Henderson in as Chapman misses badly to Colton Cowser on the inside. Connor Wong lucky to save that from being a ball that advances Gunnar Henderson to third base. Cowser, 1 for 3, does have an RBI in this game, and also a walk. Lefty on lefty here. Cowser almost gets hits again on another sinker that runs way inside, 2-0. So 3 pitches from Chapman to Mountcastle that looked unhittable, and 2 so far to Cowser that are almost wild pitches. But third pitch, kind of similar inside. Definitely wasn't quite as threatening to Colton Cowser's health as it was the first 2, but still way inside, 3-0. Cowser in a very favorable count here. We'll see if he takes. He will, and it's another ball. So 4-pitch walk for Colton Cowser after a 3-pitch strikeout to start the game against start the inning, not game, against Mountcastle. And I guess that's kind of the Aroldis Chapman experience. You know, you get insane pitches in the zone, then also some that are just all over the place. So first and second, 1 out. Kobe Mayo, who also has a hit in this game, 1 for 4. Mayo's certainly a strong hitter, so we'll see. You know, any bat to the ball here that gets in play, it's probably going to go a long way. Mayo takes strike 1, pretty much low middle, very much inside the zone. So righty on lefty here. Mayo the righty, Chapman the lefty. Chapman delivers. Mayo swings away at a striker that is not a strike. Swings away at a sinker that is a strike off the plate, 0-2. So far Chapman has dominated the righties, but through a 4-pitch walk to the lefty Cowser. Mayo 0-2, swings and misses at strike 3. So similar to Mountcastle, goes down on 3 straight pitches. Kobe Mayo unsuccessful to get a hit against Aroldis Chapman. And just a really, really strong pitch to get Kobe Mayo swinging and missing. Again, Kobe Mayo is pretty young, so it's going up against a guy like Chapman. It's pretty tough. Looks like Orioles are going to pinch hit here. Jeremiah Jackson will be the pinch hitter for Dylan Beavers. Jackson a righty against Chapman the lefty. Jackson takes strike one. So interesting to pitch hit. I get the lefty-lefty splits and how it's you want to have a righty versus lefty, but so far it's been Chapman dominated the righties, but through a 4-pitch walk to the lefty Cowser. Beavers is a lefty and you take him out for Jackson. Interesting decision. We'll see if it pays off. Chapman's pitch is swung on and missed by Chapman's pitch is swung on and missed by Jackson. There's kind of similar vowels and syllables there. So again, 0-2. Chapman has been dominating the righty so far. His pitch swung on and missed 100. He stares down Jeremiah Jackson. So no contact whatsoever for the Orioles. 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. No runs. Bottom of the 10th. Looks like it'll be Yennier Cano, believe, is going to be pitching for the Orioles. Cano, I think, gave up 2 runs in yesterday's game. I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened. Orioles still won that game, but Cano's not having a good season by any stretch of the matter, and right now it's not looking too great for the Orioles. Definitely momentum has shifted intensely towards the Red Sox. So the pinch hitter there for Dylan Beavers, Jeremiah Jackson, did not pay off. Tony Mansolino pushes the wrong button there. I would have been interested to see either keep Beavers in or put Samuel Basayo in, just for fun. And it's also, again, just from watching that sequence, the righties were getting dominated, lefties, the one lefty wasn't. So, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see if Tony comments on that after the game, depending on how this winds up. But in the end, for now, still 3-3 going to bottom of the 10th. Quick score check. Houston and Detroit is also in extras. It's still 0-0. Detroit has bases loaded with 2 outs, bottom of the 10th. Yankees up 5-0 against the Rays. Bottom of the second there. Athletics still up 6-3. Chicago up 4-1. Dodgers up 7-2. Reds and Angels are tied at 1. And then Diamondbacks and Guardians are tied at 0. And we also have San Francisco and San Diego. They are playing out west, bottom of the 2nd, and that game is tied 1 apiece. So both teams have left double-digit runners on base so far. Orioles with the 1 error, both 3 runs. Orioles with a few less hits. Red Sox with plenty of hits, but a lot of runners stranded. Yennier Cano will look to strand a few more. Well, at least 1 more with the automatic runner at second. Looks like it is, I think that is Trevor Story. Cedar Rafaela, a pinch hitter, is in. He swears to bunt. He will bunt foul. So Rafaela replaces I think Yoshida, although Yoshida anyway. Oh, and Cano hits Rafaela on the back, and yeah. So first and second, nobody out. Cano with a terrible pitch right to the back of Rafaela. I think they were looking to see if Rafaela swung. Oh, no, it did. They were looking to see if it did hit him, and it did. Just barely skimmed him. So, yeah, it was Rafaela pinch hit for Masataka Yoshida. Trevor Story on second. Rafaela now on first. Romy Gonzalez, who has 2 singles in the game and walked, is now representing at the plate, squares to bunt, and takes a strike. So 0-1 to Romy Gonzalez. First and second, nobody out. Bottom 10th, Yennier Cano pitching. He has hit a batter so far in just 3 pitches. And chopper there to second. Flip, or chopper there to short, flip to second. So the runner at first, which was Cedon Rafaela, is out at second. But Trevor Story advances to third, and there's only one out. So any ball past the infield will score the winning run. And the menace to the Orioles this game, Nathaniel Lowe, is already back up and hitting. So just an inning after he tied the game with his bat, Nathaniel Lowe has a chance to win the game with his bat. Cano is a ground ball pitcher, so there is a chance for a double play. He will take ball one just off the outside with a fastball. Cano with a sidearm delivery. Was an all-star a few years ago, but has really struggled over the past couple of years compared to his older form. Lowe fouls that fastball back. 1-1. Cano was brought over in the trade with Minnesota that where the Orioles traded away their closer at the time, Jorge Lopez. They got a package including Yennier Cano and also one of their lefty pitchers, starting pitchers, Cade Povich. Cano a righty throws. That one is down low for ball 2. So Lowe, once again, has the chance to win it here. Up in the count, 2-1 against Cano. Cano probably looking for either a strikeout or a ground ball double play right here. That ball is inside, 3-1. Cano's thrown a lot of four-seam fastballs, which he doesn't usually throw all that much. At least he hasn't in the past. Yeah, he only throws it about 10% of the time. Usually throws a sinker. And he throws another four-seam fastball. It's outside, so bases are loaded. Only one out. Only really silver lining here is that it's a force out anywhere. And Abraham Toro now up. Again, 0 for 4. Did strike out in the 9th inning. Drew French, the Orioles pitching coach, will come on out once more to talk with Yennier Cano, who's hit a batter, got a ground out, and walked a batter. So bases loaded for the 3rd inning in a row for the Boston Red Sox. Had a bases loaded no out situation, bases loaded, I think, 2 out situation in the 9th. Yeah. They had a bases loaded no out, bases loaded 2 out, now bases loaded 1 out situation. Orioles managed to wiggle out of the first 2 without giving up the lead, but once again, it's going to be really, really tough to go 3 for 3. And Yennier Cano will have to find a way to do it going up against Abraham Toro here in the bottom of the 10th. Cano's thrown 9 pitches so far. This will be his 10th here in a moment to Toro, a lefty. Cano, a righty. Crowd is on their feet at Fenway, and for good reason. Cano's first pitch is just low on a sinker. 1-0. Again, there's also that threat with how Orioles pitching has struggled to find the strike zone of a walk-in run. Cano will need to find something in his bag of tricks. Ground ball foul from Toro on a changeup. 1-1. Cano's squaring up. Tony Mansolino's giving some signals, looks like, to the infield. Cano pitches. Ground ball. Second base. Flip over to second and first. Double play. Excellent work from Jackson Holliday. Holliday, Henderson, Mayo gets the double play. Orioles sneak out of it once more. Oh my goodness. Holliday with an excellent little flip. Kind of a backhand flip almost. Henderson with the perfect throw over to first base, and Cano is certainly happy. That is kind of his style of getting those ground ball pitching. And just like that, we're on to the 11th inning. Orioles 3 times in a row have managed to wiggle out of bases loaded situations without giving up a run, which is kind of wild. I'm sure the Red Sox are not happy about that whatsoever, but they'll game's certainly not over yet. Again, Orioles have not played well in extras. They just cannot seem to find that extra base hit and then be able to, lock it down after that. Lost in 12 to the Astros just a few days ago. See if Aroldis Chapman goes back out. Red Sox have burned through their bullpen this game after taking out Walker Buehler pretty early on. I think in the 5th inning, I think. So they've gone through a lot of bullpen pitchers, and I mean, it's still a tie game, but I don't know how much longer they want to keep Aroldis Chapman out, even with the off day. It will be Dylan Carlson, Alex Jackson, Jackson Holliday, at least lineup-wise. My guess is at least one of them will be pinch hit for. I would assume. I could potentially see Basayo pinch hitting for Alex Jackson. Maybe they could throw in a pinch hitter for Dylan Carlson. Maybe not. Carlson does have a hit in the game, I believe. I could be wrong, but I think he's a hit. Yes, he has a hit. And a walk. So we shall see. This is, again, coming down to the wire. It will not be Aroldis Chapman. It will be someone else who wears number 22, but he doesn't have a name on the back of his jersey, so I don't know off the top of my head. Garrett Whitlock. He was warming before, so that makes sense why he's in now. Whitlock's primarily sinker bowler. Also throws a slider and a changeup. Jeremiah Jackson, the automatic runner. Dylan Carlson takes ball 1. So Carlson walk, double, foul out, strikeout. Carlson swings through a ball, and it is 1-1, and it will be Samuel Basayo pinch hitting in the 9 spot for Alex Jackson. Could see something big here, folks. Whitlock to Carlson. In the meantime, Carlson swings through a changeup. Strike 2 to Carlson. So Red Sox bullpen is, after a rough inning in the 5th where they gave up those 3 runs alongside Buehler, they've really locked it down since. Carlson down 1-2 against Whitlock in the 11th. He will ground a ball over to first base, so Carlson will be out, but it does advance the runner to third, which is big because now it will be Samuel Basayo, the Orioles' number 1 prospect, I believe number 8 prospect overall when he got called up just a few days ago. And Basayo has a lot of power, so he gets the bat on ball. There's a good chance the Orioles could take the lead here. You don't need to actually get a hit, just need to get the ball into the outfield for a sac fly. But obviously the Orioles would prefer a hit here. Would really prefer Basayo's first home run, but I wouldn't say it's wishful thinking, but it's, just need a run here for the Orioles. But this is, welcome to the big leagues, kid. This is bottom of the 11th tie game, runner at third. Do your best. Will be a mound visit here for the Red Sox. Probably talking over the strategy to pitch against Basayo from what they can tell of what they've seen so far of him in his few games in the majors and also his time in the minors. After that, it will be Jackson Holliday. Holliday got the Orioles' first walk-off hit of the year just last week. His first walk-off hit of his career. So there's precedent there for a clutch hit from Jackson Holliday. But first, it will be Samuel Basayo. Basayo, big man, lefty hitter. He will swing at the first pitch and foul it back on a changeup on the outside of the zone. Would have probably been strike 1 anyway. Whitlock, righty. Samuel Basayo, lefty. Corbin Martin, that's his first name, Corbin, will take the bottom 11th. Basayo swings and misses at a sinker, 0-2. So, again, we'll see if Corbin Martin will be pitching with a lead or if it will still be tied. Basayo taps the ball over in front of the plate, and that will score a run. Oh my goodness, what a hit. Basically a swinging bunt for Samuel Basayo. Connor Wong basically had to run out and grab the ball since Whitlock wasn't close enough for it. Wong goes to first, gets Basayo out at first, but since Jackson was at third after the advancement by Carlson, Orioles take the lead. And that pitch was basically on the plate when Basayo made contact. Whitlock wasn't able to get there in time, just an awkward play. The ball was kind of running towards first base anyway. Wong chooses to go to first, would have basically had to do a full 180 around to get back to Whitlock and wouldn't have got there in time. Jackson's a pretty fast runner. And now Jackson Holliday is up, nobody out, but Orioles have the lead. So at this point, just trying to get some insurance. Takes ball 2. Orioles with the lead once more on Samuel Basayo's incredibly clutch RBI. And we'll see Corbin Martin taking the 11th. We'll see if he can close out the game. We'll do what Geraldo couldn't. But again, Orioles in extra innings has not been their strong suit this season. Don't usually see that type of hit from the Orioles this year from Basayo. Holiday fouls that one off, so it's 2-2. Don't see the hit Basayo had too much from the Orioles this year, but Basayo is new. He is hyped up, and rightfully so. And, that's kind of why they more expect power out of him, not a swinging bunt. But either way, he gets the job done. 3-2 now to Holiday, 1 for 4 in the game. Holiday gets ready to see if we'll play on here. He takes a walk, so we will play on here in the top of the 11th. Holiday walks. Whitlock up to 13 pitches now. We'll see. I don't think they'll pitch in for Luis Vasquez. They will not. I don't think their bench is big enough, what with Luis Vasquez basically already being the backup for Westberg, who's, again, injured. Holiday's going on a steal. Vasquez fouls it back. Holiday's definitely had issues with stealing. He's been caught stealing a lot this year, so not sure if that would have been successful or not. In the end, doesn't matter. 0-1 for Luis Vasquez, who is 0 for 4. I think he has walked, though, if I remember correctly. Could be wrong, but I think he walked. He will swing through strike 2 there. I might be wrong. He might not have walked. Where's a better stat line that I can read? Vasquez. No, he did walk. Okay. He will instead this time pop it up into kind of foul ground by the dugout. Wong will get it and complete the 11th inning, but not before Samuel Basayo knocks in the Orioles' 4th run of the game to give them the lead. Corbin Martin will take the bottom of the 11th here in just a moment. Let's see, should I take a break? I don't think I should. I think I'm just going to keep going. Keep rolling through. Scoreboard update around the league. Yankees up 6-2 against the Rays in the middle of the 3rd. Chicago Cubs still up 4-1 against the Brewers in the top of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th, actually. Looking to sweep the doubleheader. Dodgers up 7-4 against Colorado, end of the 6th. Reds up 2-1 against the Angels, top of the 4th. Diamondbacks up 1-0, top of the 4th against Cleveland. Dodgers and Padres are tied, bottom 3rd. And Cleveland actually has tied up the game in the top of the 4th. And let's see, Detroit did pull out the win against Houston in the 10th inning. And that was... that game was not the only one to get final. It was actually the Braves-White Sox game won final, and the White Sox did manage to come back and win 11-10. So yeah, that's kind of the White Sox in a nutshell. Not that the Braves have been amazing this season in the slightest, but the White Sox have been worse, to say the least. One of the worst teams in baseball outside of the Rockies, and honestly, Nats are probably down there. Actually, let me look up standings-wise. Rockies are worst at 36 and 89. White Sox are second worst, 45 and 80. Athletics 56-70. Orioles 58-67. Nats 50-74. Pirates 53-73. So, yeah, it's really the Rockies, the Cubs, and then kind of everyone else. I mean, the Nats and Pirates are down there as well, but I feel like there's a bit of a gap between them and then the White Sox and the Rockies. So Corbin Martin is taking the bottom 11th, looking to seal the deal. 6.75 ERA, just only 10.2 innings pitched, or 10 2/3 innings pitched. Let's see, he's primarily throws four-seam fastball and a slider. Throws a curveball as well, and occasionally a changeup. And a bunt here from Connor Wong will advance the runner. Connor Wong is out, but a perfect bunt from Connor Wong will advance Roman Toro. Yeah, not Roman Anthony. Abraham Toro gets to third. So once again, in this case, the tying run is now at third, not the go-ahead run. Orioles made sure it's not the runner at third is not the go-ahead run, but instead the go-ahead run is at home plate with Roman Anthony up to bat. Walked in the ninth, singled in the eighth. 2 for 4 with that walk. Martin's pitch is outside for ball 1, four-seam fastball. So it'll be interesting to see how both sides play this. We'll see if Toro goes on contact here, or if not, Anthony will take ball 2 inside, up and in. Martin gets a refresh of the rosin bag from the looks of it, as Orioles dugout looks on. 2-0 to Roman Anthony. Martin a righty, Anthony a lefty. Popped up. Out into center field. Colton Cowser circling. We'll see if he has the arm to get there. This could tie it here. Long throw in, will not get there. Oh, wait. Oh my goodness. Red Sox did not send Abraham Toro. Why? What? So what should have been an easy sac fly for the Red Sox to tie the game instead is just a fly out to center. I am dumbfounded. I mean, because Colton Cowser's throw was nowhere near home plate. That is insane. Corbin Martin, I don't know why I keep calling him Curtis Martin. I think that's an airplane company. So Corbin Martin's pitch is strike 1 to Alex Bregman. Why the Red Sox did not send Abraham Toro there it blows my mind. Strike 2 to Bregman, and suddenly Orioles are a strike away from winning on what should be a tie game right now. Also, I should mention Samuel Basallo is now catching since he pinch hit. But what was going on there? I am at a loss for words. 0-2 pitch here. In the dirt, good pick by Basallo, who's definitely, I know they've been working on his defense as a catcher. So good sign there. 1-2 would have had it past him, tied the game. So again, the game's certainly not over now. Alex Bregman has the chance to tie it with one swing. Also has the chance to win it with one swing and lose it with one swing, depending on how this goes. The pitch. High for ball 2. Fastball. So Bregman has a couple of walks, also 0 for 3. Corbin Martin currently sitting at 2-2 against him. Jarren Duran on deck. Abraham Toro still lingering at third. The pitch low and away with a slider, 3-2. So from 0-2 to 3-2, Mansolino's trying to get the team working again. Again, Bregman, very dangerous hitter despite his 0 for 3 day. Just needs to get bat on ball to tie this game up. Martin's pitch with the 3-2. Popped up. Out to center field. Gunnar Henderson actually taking it in short left field. He will end the game. Corbin Martin gets the win. Orioles get the win on an absolutely baffling nonsense from the Red Sox third base coach. And Orioles take the game in extras on a Samuel Basallo swinging bunt that was so far off the plate, it was basically in another postal code. Orioles sweep the 2-game series against the Red Sox. They are rolling. What a wild finish to this game. It started kind of normal. I'd say it started normal. Then there was the alarm that wasn't a fire alarm. Orioles bullpen having some issues. Rico Garcia having an amazing pitching outing. Red Sox loading the bases for 3 straight innings and getting nothing out of it. Nathaniel Lowe homering. Just an absolutely wild finish. What a game. So Orioles advance to 59 and 67. Red Sox drop to 68 and 59. Wow. That's all I can say. Just wow. That's for my first game to play-by-play. That was quite the one to end it on. Yeah, I don't really know how to close this out other than that's baseball, folks. Thanks for tuning in. I don't really have quite an initial plan for the next episode. Might try and do another one of these because this was actually pretty fun. And I'll see you next time as watch Colton Cowser get interviewed in post-game. Thank you all for listening.